I'm a little distracted by someone's teeth. I can't handle the tooth. Anyway, what's up, everybody? It's been a while. It's been a hot minute. It's been, as the kids call, a hot Cosby. It is No Bucks Given episode.
That's what they call a hot Cosby.
Hey, just
What?
Hi.
Oh man, I gotta catch up on my Urban Dictionary. What's up? Anyway, it's No Bucks Given.
Hey, what's up?
What?
I'm going back to my popcorn.
It's episode 109 of No Bucks Given, the show where we talk about anything and everything we want to talk about in the world going on today. It's a show where we just, talk, schmooze, spin the bottle. I always lose. But we got most of the crew with us this evening. We got JP, we got Heather, we got Monsieur Canadian Basement, and myself. How's y'all doing this fine evening? I don't know why I turned southern all of a sudden.
That was not
it's
southern.
a hippy dippy night.
Go ahead, Heather. How are you doing?
It's a hippy dippy night.
Let me just say she's trying to finish her story.
No.
That could mean a lot of things. I need a little bit more.
So she's pregnant, is what you're saying.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, I need a little more.
I will let her elaborate.
Please do.
Go ahead.
About what?
I always. You go ahead.
You know what?
Well,
How are we doing tonight?
Oh,
Heather?
after this weekend? Yeah.
She's trying to finish her story.
Yeah. Wendy's about to get the Cody cutter.
The fucking tribal chief over here almost has Wendy finishing her story.
Well, I mean, if it's anything like Cody does it, it'll miss.
Well, okay, I think that was done on purpose, but we'll get to it. But yeah, Wendy has been...
We decided Wendy wanted her kitchen in a different place than where we had put it when she got it for Christmas 2 years ago.
Real quick, JP, did you just fart?
No, that was him snorting his snot.
I have congestion.
He's
I think
got
I have bronchitis.
ass face.
Go fuck yourself. I think I honestly have a slight case of bronchitis.
He talks a lot of shit.
But yeah,
A slight
For
case
us
of
to-
bronchitis.
for us to be able to move her kitchen from where it was to where she wanted it,
Oh shit.
we needed to have her help clean up her toys and move things around. We figured we might as well also vacuum.
So
This
today she
motherfucker.
was good. Yesterday was the adventure.
I was just getting there.
You're good. You just do you, sister.
Now who's not letting me finish the
Well,
story?
you can't call her sister. You're actively having sex with her. Welcome to Wisconsin.
It's a little further south. That's
wherever.
more Missouri.
I don't know.
Yeah, that's you took quite a jump there.
This
My
guy's
family's
poker
from
nighting.
Missouri.
Goddamn
You do
poker
realize.
night.
But go ahead, finish your story. Cody.
Anytime we would ask Wendy to do anything, it'd be I don't want to. My leg hurts. I'm hungry, but I'm tired. So-
Yesterday was all about the shower, though.
Oh yeah. when it got to that-
Combo breaker.
Yeah.
Killer instant.
Oh.
Fatality.
Oh god, well that would kill her.
So
She kept trying to push off what time she was going to take her shower, and she came to me. Can I take it at 9? It's like, no, you're going to bed at 9, because on the weekends we let her stay up a little later. And she's like, so then can I do it at 8 or 8:30? Meanwhile, she had already asked him for the third time what time she could take a shower.
I said 8.
So 8 o'clock comes rolling around, and she sandbags herself to the floor.
And she's taking a bath.
Well, she almost found out how deep the wall was.
I would have been like, look, you know what I would have done at that point? Like, look, it's either this or the dishwasher. Your choice.
Well, that's child abuse.
It's
You just talked about putting her through a wall.
I wanted to. I will tell you. I will be honest with you. Yesterday, I bless, and I will preface this by the art where we're going with this story is all three of
us.
us.
Want to have your finger on the mute button just in case for legal reasons.
Hey, I'm not gonna get in trouble.
All three of us
Touché.
were in the bathroom. I was actually sitting down going pee because
That's how I pee.
Wendy. Well, no, when Wendy's in there, man. Hey, get in the fucking shower. As they flip over my shoulder. No, I'm sitting down. So we're sitting there. Sitting there. I'm sitting there, and I'm like, Wendy, get up off the floor. Get up off the floor. Next thing I know, Heather is going. She's doing the clap back at fucking Wendy. Get in the shower.
Basement, the way you just said that's how I pee, it just made me think of Mark Henry. Like, that's what I do.
No, really. So your child is in the bathroom getting ready for a shower. You're just going to stand up and pee?
I don't have a child.
No. I know you don't. So I'm sitting down. I'm sitting down.
I will wait for them to get out. Unless
the whole point of the story is Wendy is arguing with both of her parents in the bathroom at. Finally, she got in the shower at about 8:15.
Tell me you have a pair, Rayshawn. Like, for Christ's sake.
Oh my God, will you two stop?
What?
What the fuck? What the fuck?
I'm so lost. What just
You
happened?
two are playing fucking poker.
No, I thought he said, "Tell me you have a parrot, Rayshawn."
That's what I thought too.
We the APA.
Oh God.
But anyway, we're doing
sign
better.
You up to not do that.
I wish I was a much
Heather had vomited like 4 times before we got on the call. She's not sick. It's just because of her cough.
Pregnancy.
Yeah, she's
not
not
pregnant.
pregnant.
Coat hanger.
Whoa!
Oh my God. This is going to be one of those wild nights.
Is
Right.
it legal in your state, or is it a closet situation?
We're doing better today. No, it's not on the fence. You can't have one. Unless you're medically in trouble, I think. So we're doing better. We are still feeling under the weather, but
who's it? One of
Oshkosh Magosh.
UW Oshkosh? Yep, it's north of where we live.
There's a lot of places north.
Yeah, we're pretty much right on the border.
Actually, like half the fucking planet is north.
Rayshawn, do you have a pair on that one?
Yeah, I had a pair.
So, moving on, Connor, how's everybody else doing? Basement, how you doing?
I'm working nonstop all the time. I got tomorrow off, and then I work for like 10 straight days. So my life is great.
I feel you.
I'm working towards that Canadian dream, which is homelessness.
It's never gonna happen. Stays in office.
It's homelessness. I'm working up to buy myself a refrigerator box.
So the Canadian dream,
the highway.
You know, the Canadian dream you want could be your American dream because you could just find a way to cross the border illegally and you'll get handed everything for free right now.
No,
the Canadian dream was to be a Mountie.
There's like no.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I think he has to come from the other way.
That's what she said. Yes, Rachel.
What the hell was that?
All right,
that
so
was
I'll
a
fly to Mexico and I'll make my way.
We can fly to Mexico and sneak in that way.
So, Connor, how are you doing?
Terrible idea.
I'm going to give a short lie and say I'm doing fantastic.
Great.
Okay, so he's
Rayshawn.
not doing fantastic, guys.
He's doing
Not with these hands.
fantastic.
I mean, I'm doing great, Rayshawn. You're in.
Rayshawn, how are you doing? Put the fucking card game down.
I'm doing really well.
He's kicking my ass, man.
Good for you too.
I will jump in there and beat both of y'all.
Oh no, you won't.
Yes, she
Threw me with a good time. Let's
Heather would
see.
drain all our pockets.
So
JP does not look like Tony Khan. JP looks more like CM Punk than anybody else.
Do not put that evil on
I'm
me.
telling you, man. You got the CM Punkness to you.
Now I can't unsee it
Tell
in my
me
head.
when I'm telling lies.
If I took a picture of his face right now and I put CM Punk's hair on him, he's CM Punk. He's CM Punk face. He's got the same beard coloration, same face shape, same douchebag.
No, Punk's face I think is a little bit wider.
He's same douchebag at least.
So no bucks given. What do you want to talk about?
Well, the first thing we can talk about, because Connor's playing card games, is about our favorite wrestler in the world got hit by a bus.
Can I just say, Basement, your setups are just chef's kiss.
I think
You know what? Okay. So for all of you that don't know, Darby Allin got hit by a bus today.
I think he went on that mountain trip.
So no, he's not. He broke
was
his
in
foot.
New York City.
Ray Sean, you gotta stop driving buses. I'm just kidding.
I haven't drove the bus yet.
Anyway,
Coffin drop
Darby
this.
Allin, Darby, I hope he's okay.
No, he's alive.
But I don't feel. I'm not gonna feel sorry for him because this is a guy. I think he did it on purpose.
As soon as I saw it, I'm like, Dave Meltzer, 5-star match.
We're talking about a guy that voluntarily jumped off a 20-foot ladder through fucking glass.
What I want to see is at what's AEW's like WrestleMania?
All Out or All In?
I want to see him versus the bus at All Out. Because it'd just be like him actually beating the shit out of an inanimate bus. It's just parked, and he's in there punching the fucking chairs.
You know how that match will be booked? It'll be a squash match.
I would love for him to show up in like. First off, I would need to know what bus it was, what bus brand it was.
Jeff Hardy was driving, then this.
I would love to. Well, no, I was gonna say I would love to have him do an entrance, like you know how like Ed showed up in like the race car and shit. Have him show up in like the competitors.
Like it starts off with like a crossing guard, and he gets like hit by the bus and flies into the ring. That's what I'd like to see.
Like those old like SmackDown, SmackDown like weird ass crazy entrances.
Fred Durst flying into the ring off the top of the car or whatever.
Oh, by the way, I was doing a podcast with a friend of mine about we do it about wrestling. Hold on, Rashawn, you cunt. And we were talking about how like we couldn't like we were talking about entrance theme songs. And we love the old Raw and SmackDown ones, but we couldn't fucking figure out what the fuck the lyrics were. And then somehow it just morphed into it basically sounds like fucking Swedish Chef without the Swedish accent. So if you like do like the like the very first SmackDown, it literally sounds exactly like that.
This brings me to the idea I had where they didn't specify what kind of bus hit him. So my mind went immediately to short bus. And I was like, perfect, because all his fans saw him in action.
Now that is a fucking dad joke right there. Listen. I hope
I actually
he's okay.
like Darby Allin. I think he's not bad.
Okay. Why did he get? What was he doing?
He was walking and he got hit by a bus.
I understand that.
No,
but he's in New York City.
You know him. He's there with a broken ankle.
Ray Sean. He does, and yes, he does have a legitimate broken ankle.
I can tell you, he's there with a broken ankle, and he sees the light changing, and he's like, oh, "Fuck, I need that surge of energy."
For the love of Christ, someone tells me.
And the referee shows up behind him, and he starts counting down.
Hold on, for the love of Christ! If someone tells me he's fucking farsighted, I'm gonna shit myself.
I don't know if you can see right now, but.
So did he get hit? Did the bus hit his fucking nose? Like, what is this picture?
If he really got hit in New York City, depending on where in the city, there's a lot of bus routes that has their own bus lanes.
So what? He has to jump over the bus? I don't understand.
They have different traffic laws with the bus lanes.
That's-
With
Yeah,
certain
well,
things.
so a question for you guys, because I
I
shared
know.
an image of him after he got hit by a bus. Did the bus punch him in the nose?
No, I think what it was is the bus was going just slow enough because it is traveling in New York City that it was able to slow down enough to just bump him, and it bumped him hard enough to send him smack down onto the road.
What was
I've got hit by 2 vehicles in my life while on a bicycle. And even if you're walking, in what world do you get hit in the face by a fucking vehicle? You're usually walking the other direction.
So it'd be one of those buses. It'd be one of those buses
flat-faced
that are the
bus.
flat.
Hey, are you guys
Is
coming
he
in the game?
staring
or no?
at? Is he
Just no?
staring
I'm
at the
not.
bus? Is he staring
He
at the
probably
bus?
heard
while
it, turned and looked right at that moment.
I don't
Wait,
know
hold
what
on.
happened. There's not much to tell. I just found it funny that this motherfucker. Go ahead.
So, sorry, I was gonna say real fast. The first thing is, in all honesty, I'm glad he's as okay as he can be given the fucking
course.
circumstances, like in all genuine feeling. That
What
being
the
said,
bus drove him to the
if there is,
hospital?
and this is truly, I need to stress that this is truly an indication of how horrible of a human being I am. If there is video
Didn't
footage
hear
of
me
this,
earlier.
if this is, if there's video of this, there is absolutely no, I cannot guarantee that I will not fucking laugh my ass off,
Well,
especially if
you know
there's,
what?
especially if there's no audio.
You're not as terrible of a person as you think you are with that statement because of the fact that he's okay.
You think you're
If he were dead, it'd be a different story.
Apparently he's okay. I mean, he looks pretty
I'm
close.
talking about
you
level
hold
of terribleness.
I
hold
still
me in
think
too
he
high
was
regard.
skateboarding. think he
Skateboarding
was
with a broken foot, and then the bus was like, "Get him away!" So he stared at it
You know
while
how many old
skateboarding.
people crosses the street while buses turn in?
I just don't get the
buses go-
nose. I don't get the nose aspect of it.
I
Okay,
already
was it like,
I already told you why the bus.
was it like the side mirror or something? Do you think that might have been it?
Maybe.
Because that's honestly what I was first thinking of. Like, it can't, like, if you're hitting the
All I know
side
about this
of
guy
the
is,
bus,
like, to impress a girl, he put a hot sauce on his asshole. So he's not
He
really
jumped
the
off
smartest
20-foot
fucking
ladder
man in the
through
world.
glass voluntarily. He's done all this shit voluntarily. So
catch
all
the
I'm
bus,
gonna
I
say
am the bus.
is if he did this just to get a fucking, because I know he's an adrenaline freak.
I would love if it was like a back and forth camera angle of him versus the bus. You're gonna go, I'm gonna go. You're gonna go, I'm gonna go. Coffin drop, bitch. If he did die, that's how they should put him in. Oh my god, at his funeral, launch him into the coffin.
Listen, the guy's an adrenaline freak. I'm not gonna put it past him doing this shit on purpose, because we know how big of an adrenaline freak he is.
Yeah, so I ran into a bus.
This is honestly taking it to another level.
Rayshon, I'm gonna fold, but
by a bus. But this
I want to see what you have.
This fucking image of him with his nose bleeding, it doesn't scream hit by any vehicle to me.
You see it?
Like I said, I've been hit by cars. You're always hit side on, almost always.
I would have.
I'm not saying you are wrong. I'm just saying what might have happened. I don't know.
At this point in time, I think he ran into the. I think he hit the bus.
He may have. He may have.
Hardcore.
Like I said.
You want me to wipe fucking hot sauce on my ass? Is that going to do it for you?
He is an adrenaline junkie.
I'm gonna fucking shit myself. That was fucking funny the way you say. I think he hit the bus.
They didn't even show pictures of the bus.
I know. I wonder if the
we
bus
hear
has broken
testimony
nose.
from bus.
It shows a picture of this.
It's not going anything further than what he put on his own Instagram.
Yeah.
So he might have gotten smacked by the mirror.
He could have.
The mirror's the only thing I can think of. And by the way, I forgot to give love into the chats. Oh shit, Himmelfarb in the house.
Yeah.
We got a Rue. We got Alpha, of course. Kratos.
Sorry, man. I was just unearthing the beast.
That sounded like I needed to come out of you.
Sound like Rick, Uncle Rick.
By the way,
Was.
I don't know if we talked about this before. I know Basement, you feel like Rick and Morty kind of jumped the shark a little bit, which
I fell off.
right.
I fell off
So-
even before they recast it or whatever.
Well, I
they
was about
did.
to say, yeah, before the whole. So I didn't watch the new season until actually recently, and I'll be honest with you, the writing's still solid.
That's
like
a
the
bad
voice
take.
thing?
That's a bad take right there.
It-
I don't know. I didn't see any of it.
I was gonna say, well, what I will say this is that some of
I
it,
feel like the
some of it is
writers
very.
ran into a bus.
Well, I was about. Oh, it comes full circle. What I will
They
say is
did.
that. Well, I will say that if you're looking for like a deep episode where like it really makes you think, like they do that every once in a while. There is one very good episode that it's basically the season finale, and it was very very well done. I hold it pretty high regard.
I should check it out. I liked the thing is I liked it a lot in the first like 3 seasons or whatever, and then it started to overextend its welcome in terms of like just being a cheap playoff of other properties. It's
I
like,
do
oh,
worry
you've
they
seen this
jumped
show,
the
you've
shark
seen
in
this
some
movie, we'll do
areas,
that
but-
again, but in our universe, and it became a bit too much than that.
Who are Rick and Morty?
They're
Yeah.
Animated TV show. It's a
time
spoof on
traveling,
TV.
no,
Back
not
to
time
the
traveling,
Future.
dimension traveling assholes. It's a play on
Back to the
Doc,
Future.
Doc and Marty.
Yep.
Except they don't travel to the future; they travel to different dimension.
But
And everybody wonders why I don't watch.
And the main guy is an alcoholic.
anymore.
the main guy is an alcoholic grandfather, so that's
Yeah.
a plus.
The main guy's an alcoholic grandfather.
yes,
Yeah, and he is the worst, and I love him. He's my favorite character.
He's honestly. I was about to say he's honestly one of my
Hmm.
favorite like overall characters in fiction.
Yeah, he's great.
And then everybody wonders why I don't watch TV anymore.
Well, you do watch TV. You watch more TV than I do.
With your
I-
sports.
Think about this
Well,
one.
at least I'm not seeing Rick and Morty.
Yeah, you're seeing the
Big
Green Bay
sweaty men
Packers
like me.
do the same thing every year.
Do you play the game, Ray Sean? Do you play the game?
All right,
Sometimes
so
I
we're
don't
done.
even
We're
pay
done talking
attention
about
to
Darby
that.
Allin versus Bus.
Yeah, Darby Allin versus the bus. I hope he's okay, but stop running in front.
Yeah, it
of
wasn't the
us.
best match. I'm gonna say
No.
that.
He got squashed.
He did. Squash match. Bus will be AEW champion soon.
Oh,
And that brings us to a good point. AEW champion, Swerve Strickland.
Let me go grab a beer because I'm
So I'm gonna like give a bit of my input on this. I've always loved this guy. I loved him in Lucha Underground. I loved him in WWE, and I like him enough in AEW. I like him as a wrestler and like him as a character. The only thing
that?
is Swerve.
John Morrison?
Swerve
Oh, Swerve,
Strickland, right? So AEW is cashing in on Swerve hype and giving him the title, right?
Yep.
Okay.
But I think there's a lot of controversy around after they gave him the title, what they did with him, which was absolutely nothing.
Yep.
And other people were like, "Oh my God, Jericho won the title, MJF won the title," and there was like this celebration fucking parade. Swerve,
And he got out to do
got
a little
nothing.
promo, and that was it.
So I mean, the
It's
big
just-
thing is, are they just cashing in on the fact that he's got hype around him, and just gonna like, is he gonna be a
Yeah, I
transitional
wasn't
champion?
confident.
And
I
I,
mean-
think that's the biggest. So the biggest thing is like,
Do you
I mean,
feel like
if-
this is a Goldberg Nitro situation?
well, I feel like people are finally looking at AEW like they look at WWE, because this is like the Kofi Kingston situation all over again. Everybody
Yeah.
wanted Kofi, and then he got him, and then all of a sudden,
Then it all disappeared.
the funniest
so-
thing is AEW. In like 3 months, you're gonna hear Brock Lesnar's music.
I think we've talked about this before, in the idea of like you can have you have like a character or a person who is your like your steadfast, the guy who like you can move him between the mid card and the main event scene.
That's everybody on that
And-
fucking roster.
Well, I was about to say like, but where you could also like it's I akin it to more like Chris Benoit or Eddie Guerrero, right? You give them their flowers by giving them a world title run, let them have it as like a thank you, and then they are your like mechanics to help get this guy over, or match card mechanics. AJ Styles is kind of doing the same thing right now.
Okay,
what I
so let me say this: I really like Swerve, but I don't think he's a Jericho or an MJF.
No.
Right. No,
He
I
is
agree
a
with
like
that.
guy that you'll like for his wrestling acumen. As a character, it's surface level. I need more. Where
They have to fucking
MJF is
flush
all
those on.
character and Jericho's all character, so I get that. But like,
No, I
Swerve
have a tooth here.
will probably be a transitional champion, and it'll probably piss
Yeah,
off
that one.
AEW fans
Oh,
because
God,
of
yeah,
that.
I folded it.
JP's praying to the Lord.
Yes.
He's counting moles on his dick.
I have
There's 7.
so many things to fucking say about this.
Oh, mute him quick.
Okay, so I will say, like this, moving the AEW
Hurry
championship
up.
to him, moving the AEW championship to Swerve is probably, in my opinion, the wrong move unless you're going to present him as this superstar.
Well, I want to say
After
one
what
quick
they
thing
did with the
before.
title.
I want to also say one quick little thing before JP goes off on his God knows how long time. I also have to think that the Swerve Strickland winning the championship is a little deflated, only because the
He's
title
holding it
has
for Osprey.
what?
He's holding the title for Osprey.
No. Well, I was more saying the idea of like, well, the world title has gone through some interesting changes recently,
All bad.
with the MJF injury and then all that stuff, and so things have obviously kind of shifted. Where, Joe being the one to hold the title right now, I don't know if that was supposed to happen or not because of MJF's injuries and everything in between and
The
blah blah blah. So
AEW title is a mid-card title, which is so weird. But they built it this way. They did nothing with MJF. They put it on Samoa Joe just to put it on Swerve, just to put it somewhere. Like
So,
it's
I think that's another part
mid-card,
of it,
man. They're
too.
killing their own fucking championship. Anyways, JP, go. The floor is
go.
yours.
So no, you're fine. So I don't mind them putting the title on Swerve because they've done a pretty good job of trying to build him up, and this is one of the things I will applaud Tony Khan for. He has done a really good job of sticking with Swerve because everybody Swerve is over. Okay?
Swerve is good, man.
No, but he is over with the crowd right now. The AEW crowd.
Hell, he was kind of over with WWE, and they got rid of him too.
No, he is. He is. My point is you have just done something that you have never done, and this is the moment where you have your first African American.
Oh, and they like hyped up being the black champion thing, and then they were like,
did it all
whatever.
All fucking day.
Even Swerve went on fucking Twitter and was like, "Your first black champion."
All fucking day. They fucking like the first African American champion, this, that, or the other thing. They don't have him come out and say shit. They have him wrestle.
Mm-hmm. But that's his selling point.
Kyle
more than
Fletcher, who is he's pretty good. You treat your fucking world champion, you haven't come out middle of the fucking
that's because they wanted to do. That's because they wanted to.
What the fuck are you doing?
It's because they wanted to do the Vince. They wanted to do the Vince McMahon angle.
A guy that calls himself Pepsi, and the WWE Harvey Weinstein.
Go ahead, Connor.
Good comparison, you fucking nimwit.
You know what? They wanted to do that angle because of the exposure they were going to get with the Jaguars afterwards at the draft.
They didn't get any exposure.
Well, they got other people watching it.
We'll get into what happened on fucking Dynamite.
I'm just saying, people that watch the
tell you what, man.
the draft would have seen Tony Khan, is what I'm saying. So that's where I'm saying the exposure.
Yeah, and he was fucking doing this the whole fucking time. He was fucking talking. The guy's a fucking idiot. Act like you have a fucking broken fucking neck.
Who was the champion?
Jesus fucking Christ.
Well, I mean, the difference between
who's the champion? Swerve.
No.
I said
Samoa Joe.
See Tony Khan at the draft, regardless who was the champion. I don't
but no, this is the difference though, because WWE. Okay, so WWE will crown a champion, right? That champion will go almost on a media tour if they want to stick with them.
Yeah.
Roman Reigns went on like fucking breakfast television, all these other fucking things.
Complaining about that at all.
I'm just saying, like
WrestleMania.
WWE would have done that to celebrate their champion and pedestal.
That's how you.
That's where you highlight a champion, not the owner of the company, because he's not selling the tickets. He ain't wrestling. Nobody gives a shit. You're not going to recreate Vince McMahon, and why would you? Why would you ape Vince McMahon at the same time as you're fucking trying to bury him? What a fucking idiot! Like, I just don't get it.
Well, I'll get to that. Don't you fucking worry. But I'm Swerve. I'm really disappointed because I'm like Basement. I like Swerve. I really fucking do. But then I found out why he shouldn't be the fucking champion. He came out and cut a fucking promo that made no fucking sense.
The thing is,
he
in
was
ring,
nervous and incoherent.
In ring, he's ready. Everywhere else, no way. But he's never got the opportunity to do anything everywhere else.
I'm gonna just throw this out here right now and just throw this caution to the wind as far as AEW in general is concerned. So, when AEW started, I was still doing the coverage stuff and I was still doing the kayfabe shticks, and I genuinely was excited for AEW just like everybody else, and saw it as like an alternative, higher end. Competitor to WWE. Not like WCW, obviously. And I know obviously people were gonna fucking compare it to everything under the fucking sun and make these all wild accusations and comparisons and whatnot. But AEW was, I saw it as this, like, it was a big deal because they were doing these big arenas, doing good crowds. They were on TV, and it was a main, a bigger company than say like TNA was or Ring of Honor or whatever the case may be. But I gotta tell you, man, the last like month and a half to 2 months, it's really like like conceptually the way I look at AEW now is essentially a like puffed up low level indie fed. Yeah, it's bad.
It's bad.
I just want to say this one thing to fucking Tony Khan. Ted Turner tried this and he was richer than you.
Yeah,
buddy.
I love the people that are online that are gonna like pump up. He's got unlimited money. Nobody has unlimited money.
By the way, that's not a knock on Swerve. That's just in terms of the general decisions AEW and more specifically Tony's been doing.
Swerve is the wrong pick to be AEW champion right now. He's hot, but he doesn't. He either needs to get it really quick and become like MJF on the mic, which is never going to. It's just not going to happen, right?
But what was the point of getting it off of Joe?
No reason.
Well, I mean, Joe is like tried and true. It's kind of boring, right?
So to answer your question, Rayshawn, Swerve is over.
Yeah.
No, I understand.
But this is like this is when you move a mid card title, not a main championship.
Well, hold on. So they did this whole fucking thing where they had the Hangman Page and Swerve interaction. That's when Swerve started getting over because people were getting sick of fucking Hangman Page, right? The Hangman Page, when he first, I thought he would be their guy, but the motherfucker can't talk on the fucking mic. However, well, it did let me finish. The whole thing is, and then they did this. They threw Swerve. Swerve got over. I mean, he got. They did the Kofi Kingston thing, and it was organic. It was organic. It was not forced.
But the problem is you're putting someone that gets over that can't wear the crown.
I get that, but I'm trying to answer Rayshawn's question, so I have to.
And Samoa Joe was boring. And
Samoa Joe won the title, and then they did the triple threat. Swerve didn't lose, but they had to finish the fucking.
But the fucked up thing is,
they had to finish the feud with him and Hangman Page.
Before this, the AEW championship was mid card, man.
I understand that. I get that. I'm not disputing that. My point is. So then they decided, Rayshawn, to then finally pull the trigger. They had to end one feud to build another. And why is it so quick? Because Swerve got so over. Yeah. That's why.
This is where, like, I think listening to the audience without restraint is a big problem.
It's a problem.
Because Swerve is great and everything, but he's not. It's like putting the title on Ricochet, in my mind. And that would fail immediately because you don't have the training to be the guy.
You
just don't. There's very few people on AEW that has that.
His best promo was in WWE.
I will say
Have you
also,
ever
like
been?
Himmelfarb asked, the question is, who do you transition the next AEW
They're
champion?
who are they transitioning?
It's going to be Will Ospreay, 1000%.
Yeah.
But Will Ospreay just started.
It's going to be
Yeah,
him, man.
but that Bryan match made him like look like a god.
So when is Wembley?
I don't know. When is it?
September-ish.
That's when they're gonna put the title on Will Ospreay. They ain't gonna put it on him that soon.
I don't know. Who's next then?
Who's next? Hangman Page. Or Kenny Omega. Because Kenny Omega's coming back. He'll be back Wednesday.
Not gonna lie,
mean-
Ray Sean, that last hand, my butt was clenched.
The truth of the matter is,
I guarantee you it's going to be Kenny Omega.
I would be a liar if I said I didn't want to watch Swerve versus Kenny Omega for the championship. But the problem
Or it's
is,
going to be Jack fucking Perry.
but the problem is, why is it happening? It's just like I get dream matches with no reason.
So
That's
I can tell you-
AEW.
I can tell
That's
you
my
now,
argument with AEW, and it has been for years.
So
Give me a reason to give a shit about the fucking
It's a
title.
guy playing with
They have
toys
not
that I'd
done
really
that
like
yet.
to see this versus this in his like fucking
This is-
3-year-old brain.
This is what I was just literally saying about like the perception of seeing how AEW was when I started off, like when they first started, versus just the last like month and a half and 2 months. It's not good. It looks very disheveled and disorganized. Like even the worst of WWE after like Ruthless Aggression era, like PG era shit, right? Like even though even the creative was maybe bad, but like you saw there was like an organization to the system and there were things and reasons, and even if we didn't like those reasons for whatever the fuck, pal, there was at least some like constants and organization to the company and to the way things were running. This just I'm getting some massive red flags.
So here's something to compare it to. Even in every sport, you have the regular season, and they only do an All-Star game once per year. When you're the All-Star game, and that's every fucking thing, because the matches are like, oh my god, it's the best in the business fighting each other all the time. But that's the only selling point. There's no reason for anything happening. That's boring
like a
as
video
shit,
game
man.
brought to life.
The All-Star game in NBA is boring as shit. I don't like it. It's all offense and garbage. But it's the same idea. It's all, if I could fantasy book these two people together, I'm just going to throw them together. There's no real reason. Oh, you want to give them a reason? They're the best in the business. That's why they're
I
fighting.
don't see anything long term with them. Like, I mean, I maybe with the whole shit with Jack Perry that they're doing, I could see like if it was me, I would be.
But that's like, honestly, the amount of booking,
break.
the amount of booking that they're
fucking guy.
doing in AEW is like the extent of what we can do in 2K.
Yeah.
Which is
I
sad.
was about to get there.
I look, Swerve. I feel bad for him because he is essentially going to be nothing but a transitional champion. That's it.
Yeah, it's right guy, wrong time.
Yes.
He is Kofi Kingston.
Also, I don't even know if it's the right guy. I love
That is
Swerve,
where-
but I don't know. Like,
Oh,
world
I
champion is a
think
big
AEW
thing.
AEW is in 2019 WWE right now with the Kofi Kingston.
It all depends on what they do with his character. It all depends on what they do with his character and if he can pull it off. With Kofi Kingston, they did nothing with that motherfucker,
No.
and they were just like,
They are
pull it
gonna-
off.
The only good thing that's about fucking Swerve, you know what's really over with Swerve Strickland is Prince Nana walking around doing this fucking stupid shit.
Oh yeah,
That's all yours, Rajon.
let's TikTok. TikTok
Get the
brain.
fuck out of here. So I feel bad for Swerve because Vince. This is a Vince thing. I can tell you right now, fucking Triple H just wanted to fucking just backhand the shit out of Vince.
You know what Tony Khan
That
reminded me of?
WWE Swerve will come back to WWE. It's going to happen.
I
And
think the next
Triple
big
H-
signing is going to be MJF.
I'm not saying anytime
agree.
soon. I'm just saying when Swerve will be back in WWE. And I'm telling you right now, it'll probably be when Bobby Lashley leaves. Him getting with Montez Ford, fucking money.
I think Swerve versus anybody, Swerve versus Rollins versus like any of the active roster, amazing.
I'm not saying versus, I saying them two together.
You know what? Yeah.
Building another faction. I'm just saying.
I'd love if they did like Swerve with
Montez Ford.
No, even if fucking like you did a fucking Swerve and Gable combination.
Oh,
They
that
get
was an
fucking
interesting
the
combo.
new
That was
Alpha
actually
Academy,
really
baby.
World's Greatest Tag Team. You know what's weird is that Tony Khan to me,
We ain't done with his dumb ass yet.
and their whole
Oh, yeah,
but
we're gonna go in hard here soon.
what?
We're gonna go in hard on Tony Khan too.
Yep, cool. So you're gonna bear with me because obviously I'm clearly like high in the fucking clouds, but the way I see him is that he is a weird
Are you
mix of
able
all
to
the.
talk if you're flying?
He's
Go
got
ahead.
connection, baby.
You can still talk in the air.
I'm sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead.
He is the amalgamation of all the bad things of Russo and all the bad things of Bischoff combined.
I think
You
he's
could
like
throw
a
in some Paul
mix.
Heyman in there too.
I think he's a mix of the worst
Yeah.
side of Paul Heyman.
Yeah.
You know what? I think
Yeah.
I think you're right on that one. And I fucking worship
AEW
him,
for about a year and a half became ECW.
Yes.
which wasn't a bad thing.
It still wasn't a
short
good
term.
thing. Like they just don't get it, man. It
Started
frustrates
feuds
me.
where they should have ended.
It frustrates me as a wrestling fan to see somebody that has all the money in the world and that gets to do what they want with a wrestling company and still be like so fucking dumb with how they like present. It's like you only learned from the things that failed. What do you think's gonna happen?
Well, believe you me,
Oh, Tony
it's
Khan.
infuriating.
So what Tony Khan should be is he can own the company. He can give his input. I'm sorry. All he needs to do is come into the meeting and say,
How much do I owe?
No. I can as a fan, I would love to see Will Ospreay and Bryan Danielson wrestle. As a wrestling fan, but build to it.
See where this
Yes.
goes.
They don't build to anything.
Tony Khan, all Tony Khan should be doing is coming in and saying, at our biggest show, I want this versus this.
My life.
The problem
That's
with
it.
Tony Khan is he's got zero patience. That's because he is a fucking rich kid. If he wants caviar, he gets caviar. If he wants to go to fucking Tijuana, he goes to Tijuana. Like like everything is. If I want it, I get it, right? So that's the booking. The booking is honestly showing the fact that I want it, I get it. But the problem is, I get. You never actually work towards it. So you never get that feeling of like accomplishment that you should get with like a storyline that spans a certain amount of time.
When we get to him, can we show that video
Of
him with the fucking interview?
Probably not. But
I need everybody to go back and watch it because we're.
I can show this where his dad is looking on at him with like one large eye.
What happened on Wednesday? We'll get into that. That's
we might as well go there because we're talking about.
But I'm
Tony Khan
talking about the video of him on his interview. Of his interview.
All right, let's make this interesting. Ray Shizzle.
I'm gonna.
You fucking pieces of crap. I'm sorry.
What?
Shut up.
Nobody cares about the poker night.
I just said one thing to Ray Sean, for God's sakes.
More than one.
But I was in the middle. So now I forgot what I was gonna say. I hate fucking hate you people. What was I talking about?
Tony Khan and wanting to be important.
Ha
Well, he tries to feel important. That's not what I meant, though. What I was trying to get at was
the video of his interview.
The video of his interview on NFL Network. That's what
I don't
I'm
think we can
about.
show that.
Okay, and that's fine. If you haven't seen it, go back and watch it.
Wait. why would we put that up there? I mean, our video is getting randomly demonetized at random notices.
I just
random
don't know.
Anyway.
Well, it is. I don't think they. I've seen
No,
it all
they all
over.
own the footage because it was on NFL Network or whatever the platform is.
Oh, they'll fucking snap our
So
fucking
if you haven't seen it, please go back and watch it. We're gonna talk about that in a few minutes, but let's talk about him on fucking West. So Raw, they don't do the draft. Raw was okay.
Wait, you want to talk about the draft?
We'll talk about that here in a minute.
What are you talking about first?
I'm talking about what happened on Wednesday Night Dynamite.
Okay.
I thought you said Raw.
Yeah. All right. Wednesday Night Dynamite. They're trying to pull off a Vince McMahon angle with Tony Khan,
Yeah.
which after like this makes no. This in its entirety is wildly mind-numbing to me.
So it isn't even they're trying an NWO angle. That's what Tony Khan is doing. Remember when Eric Bischoff got jackhammered through a fucking table at I wish Trek was here because he would know the name of the pay-per-view.
Do you remember
Great
when
American
Eric
Bash.
Bischoff
Great American
wasn't
Bash?
Tony
Oh,
Khan?
yeah.
Sold out pay-per-view.
The problem is
No,
Tony
no,
Khan.
no, no.
The problem is Tony. Like this, it's the same fucking thing. It's like all of a sudden I'm Eric Bischoff. All of a sudden I'm there. Like, fuck off, man. Like you're gonna come out and you're gonna be like, oh, yeah, we're all about wrestling. Everybody loves
Yeah.
wrestling.
I'm a broom.
So him,
That's exactly how it feels, Rich. I'm
so
a broom.
him coming out. I knew it was gonna happen. When I said I didn't even know that was going to be a thing, so they probably did it during the show, right at the top when everybody's fucking watching. Where, because I didn't watch the very beginning of it, where they said that Tony Khan will meet up with Jack Perry. I'm like, oh yeah, this is where the Young Bucks are going to come out,
To be honest
and they're
with you,
going to fucking,
I'm a
they're going to beat the shit out of Tony Khan, which is exactly what happened. Everybody, Tony Khan, this guy. Whoever reacts to somebody punching them in the gut like that,
Well, he's got the Vince
Who
McMahon
reacts like
reactions. Okay, his reactions were horrible.
that was terrible.
I remember the Vince McMahon stunner,
You don't
rock
just fall
bottom.
over.
Every fucking move
Nah.
ever done to him was bad.
Linda taking a stunner was way worse.
Linda paralyzed.
But
God interfering.
yes, the problem, but he beat God. Remember?
Of course he did.
The-
Now look at
Tony Khan.
Dancing with the devil.
him. He made a pact
Tony
with the devil.
Khan takes a punch to the gut, horribly sold, whatever. I'm like, okay, let's just get to. It's like they went through the fucking motions, and he stood over him. He's like, somebody said in the fucking on Twitter or X or whatever the fuck you want to call out, like he's looking down at him, going, "Sell, motherfucker, sell." It was funny. It was a great meme. So then. The Young
problem
Bucks
is-
come out. The Young Bucks came out and then fucking like pushed Jack Perry. Like, oh my god! I'm like, Heather, you should be watching this. They're gonna beat the shit out of Tony Khan. No more than, and then they do the whole fucking thing to him, and then pile drive him. I'm like, oh my god, what are you doing? What are you doing? That whole segment was terribly done.
This is more important than your new champion.
Yes.
This is the problem with this company. And I know Vince used to do the same shit, and I fucking hated it too. So, people coming at me saying, oh, you just don't like wrestling. That ain't fucking wrestling.
That's
That's
not
trying
wrestling.
to tell me a story that makes no fucking sense. You also have a fucking female that walks around calling herself the CEO. Don't you think that'd be a fucking head scratcher? Just for a fucking minute? So what? Sasha Banks now runs AEW? What the
Sasha
fuck is this
Banks,
shit?
okay, I don't care what anyone says. Sasha Banks is terrible.
She is.
Not in ring,
point.
but like personality, like not personality, sorry, like
This
wrestling
company
personality
runs-
acting. Oh my god, it ain't good. It ain't good.
She should not have gone to AEW.
This
She should
company
not have
has
gone
shit
anywhere,
backwards.
to be honest.
Yo, you know what? I'm glad she did because it exposed her for who she really fucking is.
She's a, I'm gonna say a 6 out of 10 in ring, and on the mic, unless she is the boss character, she's horrible, like really bad. And I honestly think she's only good as the boss character because people were writing for her.
This is her trying to be the boss,
Yeah, man.
AEW style.
It's so cringy, man. It's
It is
terrible.
fucking horrible.
And she comes out in these costumes that, honestly, I don't care what they look terrible. I don't know what this shit is. Like, she looks like fucking Zordon. What the fuck is that?
So Tony Khan, that whole segment, and then the next fucking day. The next fucking day, or was it the day after? What's the next fucking day?
It was, yeah.
After round 1 of the fucking L draft. This motherfucker has the goddamn kahunas to say that he is the Pepsi of wrestling. The WWE, two totally
I don't know.
different
I don't
things.
understand the confidence in saying I'm second best. I never got the idea behind that. It's like in the Olympics, they give the medal to they give the medal to the person that was the best, and the person that comes in second is like, yeah, but I got silver, bitch.
Real quick.
Hurry up. Go ahead.
Sorry, real fast. When I said in our Twitter chat, I said, "Oh, that was like, I complimented the way he said that." I was saying that in the context of like, yeah, that's probably the best way you can say that you're number 2 as much as you possibly can.
No,
I just don't get that. I don't get the.
Agree with him.
I don't know why you would ever even say it. It makes no sense. It's like, yeah, we're number 2. Okay.
Okay.
Why even say it at all?
Number one. He's shooting on something that they don't give a. The people that are interviewing him
don't give 2 shits about.
Think about this for a minute. He's not being interviewed by Dave fucking Meltzer. He's not being interviewed by ESPN.
But
he's not being interviewed.
Dave Meltzer's whacking it in the back.
He's not being interviewed by CNN. Whatever. He's being interviewed by people in the NFL who
Here now.
He does their analytical work for the draft. That's what he does.
I'm pretty sure he doesn't do that. He just gets people to do it for him.
That's what he does.
Does he get people to do it for him? Or is he just on the payroll saying that's what he does?
Believe what you want, but
I'm going to believe that he doesn't do jack shit.
But anyway, so he comes on there and he starts talking about WWE. I don't even know what the question was that was asked, but his response, like, why is he saying this on NFL Network? I know what he's trying to do. He's trying to get people to watch his show. And then there's only 500,000 viewers.
You know what?
After a fucking basketball game.
You know what I found really funny? And I don't know if you guys saw this, but it was on Twitter, and it was wild with Twitter, where this one girl, was she on Twitter or on TikTok, she's talking to Alec Baldwin, right? About, you killed that woman, and he got her out of the store, and then she ended up somehow on Piers Morgan's fucking show with a neck brace and her tits flopping out, and I'm like, I see something similar here between these two scenarios, and she was just talking nonsense. Why is it so? I understand why it's so imperative for him, because he knows his company is about to take a shit. Well, what's mind blowing to me is that he goes with the Harvey Weinstein with WWE when it's really not WWE, it's Vince McMahon.
It's not, and to think, I've had people. WWE's under investigation, and I just sit there and I just watch the conversation. I haven't said anything to it. I was going to, and I'm like,
but
even though I have responded to a couple of people, like, I don't like that. So you know me when it comes to law stuff. I look at it as until there is a conviction, don't tell me that this is fact. I hate that when people fucking do that. That is the conversation. Well, I don't support child abusers and sex traffickers. Okay, motherfucker. Come on.
But I would
anybody that fucking does that. Well, I hope they got rid of the fucking people that did it. I think they did.
I would also say that, first of all, Tony Khan, he hasn't had sex he didn't pay for. And his dad, for fuck's sakes, you know his dad is fucking dick deep and dirty pussy. Look at that motherfucker in the image. He looks like the father in Aladdin.
Yeah,
I was gonna say
there's something else in that picture that I think really should chap his ass, but he's happy as all fuck. And that's WWE's own replica belt for the Jacksonville Jaguars because the NFL struck a marketing deal with WWE for championship belts for every team.
The response by Sam, I think his name is Sam Weiss, who is one of the guys. He's like, "Okay, Tony, I don't think we need to be going out. We didn't bring you on here to talk about fucking goddamn wrestling. We brought you on here to talk about how is the draft going."
Right.
Yeah, well, he also, I honestly think, I don't know legality wise, but like calling WWE Harvey, yeah, that's what I was about to say. Harvey Weinstein of the wrestling community, that's defamation. That should be. And this is where, like, afterwards we talked about this, right? I'm like, WWE should take the high road and not fucking even engage with him because any engagement is viewership.
So
but
I think
they should sue his fucking ass for that. Honestly.
This is how Tony Khan puts his promo together. Harvey Weinstein is back in the news again. He's not in good health or something, and he got something overturned, whatever, so he thought, Pepsi and Weinstein. While the draft is going on, I got something here, right? Yeah, come on, man. That's what he's doing.
In his mind, this was a grand slam.
Yeah, of course it is.
But the truth of it is, like, come on, man.
That river.
The funny thing about fucking Wednesday night, back to Wednesday night, is his dad, Shad, comes out and stands over him. He's like, "What the fuck happened?"
By the way, just to reiterate, the dad looks like not just the father from Aladdin, but it's like a mix of the father from Aladdin and the co-star from Borat.
Yeah, you know he's fucking NDA up the ass, pounding snatch.
Tony Khan is the Joe Biden of the AEW. He has that look. I did that. I drafted that guy.
I did that.
I guarantee you the guy they drafted probably is going to suck in a couple of years.
I did good, man. I did good.
Well, I mean, these are two people that are like, they're not like, okay, they are owners of businesses. They're not necessarily like understanding of the business they're doing, which is, I think, like, maybe I'm completely wrong.
No,
but I think that, like, his father is a guy that is looking to make money, not looking to make a good team. And I think Tony Khan is looking to. The thing is, Tony Khan is like naive, and he wants to make a good team with money he's never earned, and with a site that he doesn't. He is honestly, he's the fucking people that are going to be shit posting on Twitter. You only hate AEW because you love Weinstein.
but no, his dad came out and stood over, like, they're now throwing him in the storyline and shit, and people, you get the fucking AEW fucking diehards fantasy booking the shit, which it'll probably become.
I'd love to see Tony Khan in a match against Big Show, and then I'd love to see them go bankrupt.
Did you hear how much AEW is supposedly worth now?
So much.
It's worth
$2 billion. $2 billion. Apparently, AEW is worth
what?
How?
That's what Forbes said. It was in Forbes.
Yeah, but Forbes is wrong about 99% of the
I hear you.
Forbes
and Chad, his dad is like, if Tony Khan was offered $2 billion for AEW and he didn't take it, I think his dad had probably hit him in the head with the shovel.
Yep. I think his dad might be brain damaged. Just look at him.
I give AEW 10 years tops.
Yeah,
I think they're going to be around, but I don't know.
I'm being gracious.
I feel like what's going to happen is either they're going to like lower, they're going to like really reduce the amount of money going in, and Tony Khan will stay the owner, or Tony Khan will sell within 10 years because he'll be forced to by his dad after they lose X number of dollars.
Right. So that's why, like, 10 years from now. So I'm saying this, that I don't think AEW is going to make it to 2034.
I do.
I think they're going to be an ROH type thing where it's impossible to kill.
Let me rephrase that. What? Well, let me rephrase that to JP. I will be a little bit more realistic and maybe a bit more specific. I don't think AEW will be around in 2034, or at the absolute very least, not the way it is right now.
Well, I can tell you right now, AEW has already lost the footing for it being a competitor for WWE. That's gone.
It has.
I'm going to say that right now. But like in the next couple years, I'm going to say 4 to 5 years, they'll realize that they're competing with TNA, like that market. That's where they're going to live, and then money will dry up in terms of
TNA's gonna
we're
go
not
over,
offering fucking Dean Ambrose $5 million to stick noodles in his head.
Yep.
I get you.
That's fair.
Oh, thank God. That
But
felt good.
I mean, Heather brought it up. It was like Tony Khan showed up in a neck brace, and he was like an owl with his neck movement. I can even see behind me, bitch.
He's looking around. He's looking around like this. Whenever he talk, he'd sit there and shake his fucking head.
He even posed for another picture that he knew was being taken. Like,
he's a dumbass. If you're gonna, and I applaud him for trying. I get what he's doing, but dude, come on, man. If you're gonna pull off the fucking goddamn, I fucked my neck up. Act like you fucked your neck up. Next fucking night on Saturday Night fucking Collision, this motherfucker's out in the fucking. He comes out fucking doing this shit. Fucking Daniel Garcia dance. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Guy, you're supposed to be fucking hurt. If you're gonna be involved with the storyline, this storyline is complete shit. Now it's fake. Now you know wrestling is fake. And this is a Jim Cornette thing, and I get it, but you're making it obvious. That's the problem. The problem is we all know it's fake, but you want me to care about, oh my God, they just beat the shit out of the owner of the fucking company. Right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm being serious. This isn't me trying to be funny or laughing, or this is me. If I was running this company, I would do the very best that I possibly could to sell my fucking injury so that I can get fucking sympathy, because the Young Bucks are fucking assholes, which is what they're trying to portray. But then you have this guy walking around, and the Young Bucks are another fucking issue. But to have this fucking guy buying into the fucking bullshit that they're fucking doing is what's killing AEW. This guy has proven, Connor, Basement, myself, we've all fucking said it. This guy just wants to have fun with Jim Cornette. 100% fucking right about this guy. All he wants to do is fucking play with his friends, play with his little action figures, and do his little fucking thing. Great. You are a fucking billionaire. I hope you fucking lose all of your fucking money.
And just to be very clear about this, though.
Go ahead.
No.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry. It upsets me. It upsets me. I don't even own a wrestling company, and it upsets me when people fucking shit on the wrestling business.
The main.
Go ahead.
I get no. I was gonna say the main thing with what you said, everything I agree with you is said in terms of like the billionaire having fun and blah blah blah. And just to be very crystal clear, that's fine. There's nothing wrong with the concept of what AEW is in its own right in terms of if that's what it's going to be. The problem arises in situations where you basically want to be taken seriously, and if you want to be taken seriously on a, or at least have the balls to say like we're in the same ball pen of WWE, you're fucking out of your mind. Now, and don't get me wrong, there are things that AEW has done that is extremely impressive and some things that are cool and whatnot. Don't get me wrong on that one, but at the same time, it is becoming strikingly more clear, at least to me anyway, as long as a fan of I've been, for what it's fucking worth, of the gap of the comparison of apples and oranges to WWE and AEW. It's like it's getting more of a widening gap. And again, for being what it is, it's fine. But like there's no anybody who instantly tries to say that AEW is anywhere remotely close to the level of WWE. I want whatever sort of chemical imbalances are going on inside their brain, because I would love to ride that euphoric rainbow as much as I possibly fucking could.
So this is like, it's not just a fucking wrestling thing. This exists in every fucking media spectrum on this planet, where like there is a group of people that finally you like something so much you kind of get the nuance of it. You evolve in the way that you watch something, and you look for certain things, and you respect certain things done by those properties.
Correct.
AEW is unfortunately in its infancy, where like a new viewer or a viewer that just wants to see carnage is fine. This is like, honestly, it's like actual fucking movies versus like the very beginning of Marvel when it was terrible, like the very beginning of like superhero movies before they got the nuance, before they can go beyond that, right? It's like Marvel Endgame versus the first X-Men movie or something like that. Like that type of thing.
That movie was great.
Okay, so let me actually. I was gonna say all fucking superhero movies, to be honest, because I feel like they're all kind of like the best superhero movie is still not the best movie ever made, and it never will be. That is nowhere close to a good movie.
I want to. Dude, this stuff makes. I've been a wrestling fan for 45 fucking years. I may not know the ins and outs of the business,
you get the nuance of it.
I understand by watching. I knew wrestling was fucking fake when I was 7 fucking years old.
Okay, so the fakeness aside, it's the nuance of how wrestling works.
It's
and this is like I could go and eat at the Keg, or I could eat at McDonald's.
Right.
It's I guess the comparison. It's the surface level bullshit.
What made, and this is why WWE, I think, is great right now. I know that Roman really isn't, I mean, he may be because his father was an actual tribal chief. So I'm not saying that he isn't. But the storyline that they're giving us is he is the tribal chief, right? Compared
what tribe?
There's their family.
Anawai.
Danawai. It's a really big name.
I'm gonna go visit that tribe, and they're all on like iPhones and fucking in those fucking those Apple iVision and shit.
But my point is, give me something to give about.
He's basically the best of the family that's wrestling. That's what I get.
That's actively wrestling. Yes, correct.
But no, what they're going with, because
I know, but it's like it's a bit fantastical or whatever. But like, I like the way that they put it. It's based in reality.
And I get that it's not real. But why did I care so much? Because they took us on a journey, right? What journey were we going on with the guy?
And honestly, the journey was fucking years long. Not we have a pay-per-view in 3 weeks. This is the journey, and that's the payoff.
Right.
But I'm talking about Ospreay and Daniel Bryan, because that is exactly what that was.
Right. And this is,
I mean, who knows? Maybe this can start a story.
This is the difference between like.
Do it on.
I hear you. Listen, guys, I don't like AEW. I'm not defending.
No. I the thing is,
level of match. This level, the level that these two are at.
It's the difference between like Quentin Tarantino and the people that ape him.
This is honestly a dream match for very many people.
Why do it at the main event pay-per-view?
Thing is, you can be anybody and make a Quentin Tarantino style movie, and it's gonna be shit because you ain't Quentin Tarantino. That's just it. It's the exact same comparison.
I am not shitting on the fact that these two wrestle. But why?
Well, if that's the only match, that's a dream match on your card, I'm okay with it. But the problem is nothing else really has.
What'll make it better? You build to it.
The Rock, John Cena built an entire year from WrestleMania to WrestleMania.
Honestly, look at what they're doing with Roman and Rock.
I mean, even The Rock in his tag match, there was a legitimate amount of build. And you compare that build to Daniel Bryan and Will Ospreay, it's just like It's apples to what they're
There
doing
is
in AEW
no-
is New Japan
It's
build.
oranges.
There is no story built into these two facing each other.
So yes, the
Have
match
they
is going to be
have
fucking
they
incredible.
been avoiding each other? Why are they avoiding each other?
Do you know why New Japan build works for New Japan and not
Because
AEW?
it's Japanese.
And it's also been around for fucking ever.
But also, like, nobody, like, I've always watched New Japan for wrestling because I know I don't care. I know I don't care about the storyline because everybody's in a faction with each other and I just want to see good wrestling. So if AEW wants to beat New Japan, that's fine. But don't compare yourself and constantly take shots at the company that just does everything. Not everything. I think AEW does actually.
About 90% better.
Wrestling is probably better in AEW, but
It's been better. It's been better.
it depends
in
on
WWE.
what you take from wrestling. If it's just, oh man, I love the interaction of two people fighting each other, or I love the storyline behind it. For me, I'm a storyline guy. I absolutely think I would take a lesser in-ring product with a storyline versus a very good in-ring product with no storyline. I would still watch the fucking Daniel Bryan and Will Ospreay match, and I'd still probably love it. But the thing is, it could have been better.
Yeah,
Of
he
course.
blew his load too quickly for that match.
That's what
I
Tony
just
Khan
feel like
does,
if
because he doesn't tell a story with all of his dream matches.
Neck brace.
You could have a dream match for a title with them too. The title would make it so much better. That's a match that would make a title so much better.
You can even have that match without a title, but you'd have to have some like involvement, some storytelling where somebody fucks somebody over. Like there's got to be something there instead of just like, I'd love to see this happen.
AEW's best story ever was MJF doing the fucking you gotta go through
because
these guys
MJF
first.
is literally
He did
the
it
best.
twice.
I'm going to say this right now. MJF
Well,
is the best
time
overall
was terrible.
talent on AEW.
I got that.
MJF
He's gonna
is
jump.
he's the
A1
best.
talent,
He's
too.
100% the best talent there, in my honest opinion.
If you could put it all together, yes.
I feel
Adam
like he's
Cole
not far
has
off,
an
man.
opportunity to be.
No, Adam
But he-
Cole can suck my dick. The guy
Okay,
just
well,
wants to live on Twitch.
whatever.
Another block.
Like MJF is he has it all. I'm not saying he's
I
a
don't-
great in ring, but his
I
in ring is
MJF
good enough.
There you go.
MJF is coming back to AEW. I don't think he's going to WWE.
He
I
might
was
go
saying,
back to
I know
AEW,
what
but I
his
think
deal
he'll
is.
re-sign for like a 2 to 3 years max.
He will end up in WWE before.
Yeah, because
Oh,
he's
for
still young. By the
Yeah,
time he's
so I
30,
know
he'll
you
be
win.
in AEW or in WWE.
It was
But
good.
to Connor saying 10 years, I think AEW will be on national TV until I think they'll be on past that 10 years. They'll still be getting about 400,000, 500,000 viewers. However, I think once the Young Bucks and all them leave, AEW will start losing all of their fans because nobody will give a shit.
The thing that honestly it reminds me of in my own life is like
And Shad Khan will probably realize why we could have just done this on the fucking indies and made little piddly cash. Let's do that. Fuck this shit.
I was a huge fan of WWE Attitude Era, right? And then as soon as the Attitude Era started to peter out, I got into ECW and I loved it. And I was also a child. Okay, so like when I look at the AEW like
Hold on.
fandom,
The ECW was a thing before the Attitude Era.
it was, but like it was like I got into it afterwards because I got the tapes to watch it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, right, like so I was watching
I
ECW
apologize. I
after
thought you
the,
were saying-
like it was somewhat
You're
it
not
was
gonna get the live broadcast.
yeah, we never got the live broadcast. I got somewhat of ECW during the Attitude Era, and I kind of like it was kind of in the same vein, and I fell in love with it. And then I was like, oh yeah, I like ECW a lot. And as a fucking what was I sex ECW as like a fucking teenager, mid-teenager, I
Yeah.
was like, oh my god, this shit is awesome. That's the way I feel about AEW. If you're a teenager or someone that's being introduced to wrestling for the first time, like if you don't have like a history with wrestling, I think AEW will really be something you latch on to because it's new and it's extreme and things like that. But as you get a bit older, especially with your like wrestling viewpoint, I think you'll probably fall back on WWE a bit more.
Yeah.
For like the fact that they might not be extreme, but there's things they do that are better, that are more appealing to an older audience. In all honesty,
Yeah.
and for a while there, that's not true. They were the PG era where they were killing their older audience in favor of like 3-year-olds and nobody cared.
MJF is hurt worse than they thought, so I don't know when he's coming back.
Damn. So
Maybe
young.
he'll never come
That
back.
was one thing that I did notice that he did that with. I seen that today. His shoulder injury is worse. I think they're thinking it's worse. He's not going to be back. There is no timetable for his return.
Well, hopefully he returns and doesn't just become a manager.
Agreed.
I mean, if they could cure everybody's fucking concussions, come on.
Mm-hmm.
Or cure everybody's concussions with bunny ears. We'll see.
We'll see. Look, but they just got like. If you're gonna tell me, I've said this from the beginning with AEW, and it was the very first night I sat down and watched the show, and Heather could probably vouch for this. I said, this is just going to be nothing. This is going to be nothing but a wrestling show. They aren't even going to try to tell me a story. What have I said about if there was a company that wanted to come here and give me the Japanese style of wrestling, they would have to tell a story. They have done none of that.
I've also said on record, there's certain people.
Attention span.
Oh, there we go.
There's certain people, and it's like half the fucking roster that signed with AEW. I'm like, I just would love just go to WWE, please, fucking Christ, just go there. And I saw this thing. I don't know if you guys saw it, but I saw Kenny Omega doing a live stream. And people in the chat were like talking shit about Roman Reigns, and he's like, "No,
yeah, I saw that.
No shit about Roman Reigns, stand-up guy."
Just last week.
He was like, "He's doing what I did in New Japan, so
He
don't talk shit."
said.
And I'm like, "That's what you could have done."
I know. I'm with you. He also said he is like how I would want to be presented. I'm like, oh my fucking Lord.
I'm fucking punching myself in the head. I'm like, that was there for you. It was there for you, man.
I still see him coming to WWE now.
I hope to God it happens because I'd love to see it.
Yeah, but it won't be the same.
Omega.
You know what? If Kenny Omega debuts at the Royal Rumble, my fucking dick is popping out of my pants. I don't care.
Now when Kenny Omega and
at that point, oh my God, he was
really good.
He's still really good. It's just like there's no direction. There's nothing. He actually just fucking in that whole like little Twitch chat or whatever the fuck it was. He actually sold WWE way more than he thought he did. He's like, oh my God, they're doing what I wish they did with me in New Japan. I'm like, it's what they would have done with you in WWE, you fucking tard.
Yeah.
Damn it. But he did. Yeah, I mean, I hope to God I get to see Kenny Omega, Seth Rollins, Kenny Omega, AJ Styles. Like, I hope I get to see that before they all retire.
Oh.
But good fucking luck with that.
The pay-per-view. You know, for each one of those matches, and those would be the undercards to the main events. That would be the Randy Steamboat.
I'm surprised you guys didn't try to draft Kenny Omega over to Raw for HGGM.
Well, we didn't talk about having people that weren't available.
Yeah. I don't think we mentioned
in terms of like creative wrestlers.
Inspiration, yeah.
Mm-hmm. And against the, I'm 100% not against the idea of it.
Mm-hmm.
But
I draft Kenny Omega to SmackDown.
Because we will have room to do
I
free
draft Tony Khan to Raw.
Oh God, no!
Oh, there you go. Is he taking over for Trek?
You know what? Put him in the women's division. I'll take care of him.
It will be.
I actually said this to JP because he's like, we don't fucking want to do anything with Dominic Mysterio because we have Judgment Day.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
And I said,
I actually want to do something with that.
I do too. Actually, I have some plans. I said, let's just put a mask on him and put him in the women's division.
You could. But you have to change sex.
Literally, all you have to do is just change his gender.
I'm sorry.
and then-
that Sammy and Dominic little fucking match at that gauntlet was really good.
Yeah, it actually was pretty solid. I'm telling you,
know
man,
what?
the AI
Dominic-
is really excited for this
I'm
season.
going to say this, man. Dominic is a lot better than he was. He's
Yes,
still not someone. I don't think he's worth a main roster spot. In all honesty, in terms of like
Agreed.
real wrestling.
Who?
Dominic Mysterio. He
Dominic
is.
Mysterio
He
can
is.
take a
No.
flying
He
leap
is.
off
He's
the
a
bridge.
lot better than he was.
So I
But he's
realized
still, I
very.
think he's at best bad.
So what I was gonna say was, when I went to SmackDown in September, the main event was Cody and Dom in the dark match, and it was interesting because Dom got it wasn't much, it wasn't a very long match, but he did get some offense and they got a couple of things there, and then like just Cody hit his moving. That was it, and it made me realize I'm like, if they're doing this on a frequent basis, they're trying to get Dom exposed to as many big name wrestlers as much as in ring repetition as much as humanly possible. And I said that's a smart long term investment.
It is, but like the person you're looking at they'll have a potential cap, and I think we're kind of there.
But I don't think so. I don't
think so either.
So you think he's going to get better in ring?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, you only go up.
That's
No,
true, yeah,
you don't.
yeah.
You don't only go up because you eventually hit a fucking plateau for how good you're going to get.
Have you seen Liv Morgan wrestle?
I don't like Liv Morgan.
Have you seen like?
Exactly.
So the thing is, like, you don't only go up. You eventually go up till you stop going up.
Right. Then you hit draws level.
And he's dead.
Have you seen Squash the Bay?
Right.
I honestly think like Dominic Mysterio is probably as good as he's going to get in ring.
So I will say
really, he's going to get better. He's going to get more coordinated, so he doesn't look like a fucking octopus.
Because he doesn't do much offense right now. If you really watch his matches,
I've seen his matches aren't good. They're just like he looks like he's in the training center. Honestly,
right now, I hear you.
No, you
are completely right, Basement.
It's been like 7 years for this man.
He's still a kid. Look at Baron Corbin.
Yeah,
he's
better.
never. But so, and has Baron Corbin really changed since 5 years ago in terms of in-ring wrestling?
Nope.
No.
So
his
there you go. There you go. Honestly, I don't. For Dominic Mysterio, what you see in ring is what you're going to get. This is the exact same argument I have for Jade Cargill.
So. I don't think so. Look at Randy Orton. Randy Orton is a perfect example.
Randy Orton, there was come on, man.
Randy Orton actually progressed.
Oh yeah,
that's what I'm saying. He progressed.
Well, when did Dominic Mysterio progress? Except outside of being shit to okay.
Okay.
Around him.
Okay. How old was Randy Orton when he joined WWE?
Like 19.
Also, do you remember when Randy Orton wasn't an athlete?
You know where Randy Orton started?
He started at OVW.
Which was?
Randy Orton is an athlete, man.
Exactly my point. They threw Dominic. Dominic will never get
Dominic Mysterio looks like he's fighting polio half the time. The man is not athletic. He is not athletic. I don't know like Randy Orton versus fucking Dominic Mysterio. That's the comparison because that's horrible.
Dominic Mysterio is getting, and I'm gonna say everybody fucking bitches about
Gold Dust.
Charlotte fucking Flair. The only reason Dominic Mysterio is getting an opportunity is because of who his dad is. If we're gonna look at that,
Okay, you could say the
That
same thing about everybody else that had
Oh,
that
well,
opportunity.
yes, but there's very few people that
That's the
are.
thing, though. Charlotte didn't. Charlotte worked her way through the Performance Center to NXT to the main roster.
Also,
Hell, they didn't even want to call her
Charlotte,
Charlotte Flair at first, and then they
Charlotte,
eventually did.
though she is kind of a robot, she is like 3 to 4 times the wrestler that Dominic Mysterio is.
Oh, yeah.
Dominic
sorry,
Mysterio
Lawrence.
is like
don't-
he's
people learn
serviceable,
to
but
follow
like after this arc,
people,
he is
I
garbage.
Ray Sean, I can learn to wrestle. I hear you. I
That's
do.
fine. I just don't think we should just shit on
I-
this young man so soon. You say it's 7 years. 7 years in wrestling is not that long.
I'm gonna tell you right now.
Oh man, he's
if
been
his
doing it for
wrestling
two-
might get better,
What you see is what you get at this
his
point.
wrestling may get better, but his promo skills.
I hear you. You are correct.
He's never. This is my point. He's
Ricochet
never
was
gonna
saying
go
it.
anywhere to WWE if he can't fucking talk.
Okay, just like Ricochet. The man could flip all he want. He
Correct.
can't talk.
He didn't go anywhere.
I'm just
You're
saying.
right.
A lot of people question sometimes. Like it was I think it was
Dominic
last year,
Mysterio
2
is
years ago, what
27
happened to
years
Ricochet.
old. What you get is what you got.
Exactly. He still
Jesus.
got many times.
No,
Oh,
what
come
you
on.
get is what you got, man. I'm telling you
He's a
that right
baby.
now.
Mysterio, when you seen him in WCW, he was
Right on.
20 years old. He was 19, 20 years old.
It's a whole different time. I
So,
don't know.
Yeah.
okay,
Plus, Ray was training when he was fucking 13.
okay,
like,
so
that's
forget
It was
about
a
what we're
whole
saying.
different
Forget about what we're
time.
saying.
Rey Mysterio was
Ray
under
Sean,
someone
what do you
else.
think the future holds for Rey Mysterio Jr. or whatever the fuck his name is?
Dominic. What do you
Come
see
on,
for Dominic?
Dominic or Rey Mysterio?
Dominic. Ray Mysterio's times. What the
Yeah,
fuck?
I don't know,
Dominic
JP,
will never be Rey
I think-
Mysterio.
I think
but,
JP
like,
will be JP might be the only one to get this reference. So maybe Heather as well. If
okay,
you want my
I
true
guess I'm
answer about
gonna
Dominic,
shit my pants.
yep, fuck you. I'm just kidding. I see Dominic Mysterio on the same path of, say, a Greg Gagne.
Ganya.
Yes.
Yeah,
I don't know
that's what I
the
see.
hell is a great Gagne, but
Greg Gagne. So Vern Gagne.
He's a winner. That's what he
Dude,
is.
history lesson 101 right now about wrestling. Vern Gagne was
Butt
one of
wrestling.
the
That sounds
greatest.
something else.
If you've
I gotta
ever
go
seen
run to the
Vern
bathroom. I'll be right
Gagne
back.
wrestle, Vern Gagne had charisma. He could do it all. He could wrestle. He could fight. He could cut a promo. Greg Gagne was his son. Greg Gagne had all the ability, but the guy
None of the
couldn't
talent.
fucking talk his ass into taking a shit. That is what I get from Dominic Mysterio.
Yeah, he's more a. Honestly, I think he's going to be he's going to be a fucking manager more than a wrestler. He's more suited
and I
to
don't
that.
mind that for him, though. He's
Yeah.
probably better at it.
I feel like at 26, 27 years old is where he is. His wrestling, we've seen it mature from bad to acceptable, but it's still the same wrestling. I don't see it going beyond that. I feel like we've hit the cap for him. That's where he's going to be.
I don't know.
And it's
I
all
feel-
because
I
he's
wa-
over the Performance Center.
There's no
and
way.
then
Like, Ray Sean, I think you're fucking.
I
come on,
want
man.
to believe.
No,
that
he's
there's-
crap. He's garbage. I want to believe what he's gonna become Chris Benoit. No
Listen.
way. It's not gonna happen, man. He's garbage. He's
That's
what he
not
is.
his dad, god damn it. It's Eddie Guerrero.
I'm not
Mm.
saying that he's going to be world champion and all that.
Okay.
But I think he will have a great run by the time he's like just shy under his.
I
30s,
think his
like
best run
29.
He's
just
already
happened.
there.
I think his
29,
best.
I said.
I think his best run just happened.
Who's
You know what I think Dominic
fucking
Mysterio is
Dominic.
going to be?
on Dom?
You know what I think he's going to be?
What he's going to be.
The Brooklyn Brawler.
Oh no, you
No,
done.
he's gonna be
messed
Rico, man.
up.
He's gonna be the Brooklyn Brawler
No,
for the
just by
Luchador.
No, just by name association alone, he'll be better than the Brooklyn Brawler.
After his dirty Dom shit settles.
They need to get fucking rid of that because the gimmick sucks.
He went
Listen,
to
let me-
jail for 45 seconds.
Just
Yeah,
laugh every time.
he is in the same realm as R-Truth, but he's worse, and he'll
Worth?
be. Shut up.
He's worth
I
the
poo, you know.
cracker that you eat it. Oh, go
I
ahead.
poo, you know.
I'll poo all over you. Fuck you, you son of a bitch. I don't remember what the, like, I was.
You mark my words.
Yo,
Watch
we won't
Dominic-
not
What
mark
happened
our
was
words.
Basement sent me the card for Raw. And so I, as a joke, I put a response to it as a thumbs down, like I hated it because it was Raw, just doing the fun shit talking. And so Basement was trying to say I poo on you as an insult back, but instead it autocorrected to I poo, you know.
God damn it!
Oh, so great. Oh, fucking hell.
All right, fuckers, we
End of
got
the
something to
day-
share with you.
At the end of the day, I don't really care so much about Dominic, but I'm not going to like limit him. That's just it.
Well, what do you? Where is your like? Where do you think he can go in terms of like success?
know.
I can tell you right now, he's already there.
Hey, speaking of prisoner, today I saw a prisoner climbing down the wall. As he turned and sneered to me, I thought that's a little condescending.
He forgot the word midget.
Midget.
Okay, so he's.
Spider. So down.
The best part was
Shape-
the end. You forgot the word midget.
Listen, here's the thing. Dominic, I think thank you. I think they're really two of me. I really think that they're trying with Dominic. They're not going to give up on it. But I think it'll be one of those long-term storylines that are just going to be like, okay, this is funny. That's it. I do like what they're trying to do with Judgment Day now. I care more to watch them break up. I do, and it's great. It is really good. It's getting better with storytelling. Dominic shows up. He is legit hurt right now, by the way.
I honestly feel
Yeah,
like
you're
if
cool.
it was me, I would have planted the seeds before he.
But they did.
No, it's terrible though. Like I would actually think what the Judgment Day breaking up. I would have I would have actually been at the point where like him doing that separated Judgment Day, so he could have like a singles run instead of being like,
It's
oh,
happening.
maybe I will, maybe I won't. Oh
Him
my
getting
god, Rhea
separated
Ripley is
from-
gone. It's like, oh my god, Mommy is
Him
gone.
get-
So who's the real champion?
Him getting Rhea Ripley getting hurt is a godsend because this might save Dominic's career. I think they're going to do a redemption arc with him, with his dad.
Yeah, I can't wait.
I mean, at least they're trying something. I
Mm-hmm.
don't mind that.
I feel like it's gonna be a really hard sell.
I'm with you.
It's gonna be
Basement, I
a
am
really
100
hard sell to do a redemption arc for a guy that is only there for
That's
nepotism.
what everybody said about Roman Reigns too.
Yeah, but Roman. Okay, you're not
And
comparing.
John Cena.
You are not comparing Roman Reigns and John Cena
I'm
to fucking
not
Nepo baby.
comparing. I'm trying. I could if you let me go back and find, I will tell you a storyline where they did that, where nobody thought it was going to be a redemption arc, but it was.
Well, I need those two. Anyways, I've pulled up
Seth Rollins.
but Seth Rollins is not fucking Dominic Mysterio, you son of a bitch. I pulled up your fucking. I pulled up your Indian lover.
I love getting you rile me up, baby.
I'll fucking stab you in the heart.
All I'm saying is if Santino Marella could be IC champion, damn sure Dominic Mysterio can.
I mean, you
and
got
that's my
real,
word, and I'm sticking
you've got
by
like
it.
a real low like idea. Like everybody's like, who's gonna be the next superstar? And you're like, who's gonna be the next bench player?
I don't mind that the mid card. Yeah,
No,
you can
but
stay
it's
there.
like, who's gonna be the next? Who talks about who's gonna be the next Santino Marella? Nobody cares. Fuck
Rayshawn,
you,
it's a little bit
Rich.
of an unfair. Hold on, real quick. That Rayshawn's a little bit of an unfair comparison because the IC title's value back in 2007 was much different than now.
Nobody
Yeah,
cared.
Understandable.
No, I'm
not taking away your point,
against-
but just
I'm not against.
asterisk.
I'm not against.
I
I'm
just
not
hate the
against-
idea that it went like, this is the
I'm
best
gonna
we're gonna
kill
see
you.
from Dominic
I am
Mysterio. It's
gonna
like,
hurt you.
well, if he
Right?
was Santino Marella in the fucking random thought in my mind,
Dominic will be a successful mid Carter.
I
Not gonna
think he
lie.
will be only a successful mid-carder because of his name. Otherwise, he's garbage.
I'm not gonna lie. This makes me want to roid out our Dominic Mysterio and our HGGM.
Do
It
you
just fucking takes over
know-
everything.
Don't do it. God, please don't.
Do it. Please, God
I
damn it.
think just
It's
give
very tempting.
give
just-
the young man a chance.
Yeah, he's only
Right
20.
now, he's fine where he's at. Listen,
Uh-huh.
And he's learning from fucking
Who's he learning from?
Finn Balor.
There we go.
Uh-huh. Even though Finn Balor is teaching the other guy with the big head.
you want to
JD
know what's
McDonough-
Listen, do you want to know what's funny about that?
JD McDonough is a great wrestler.
That it has become such a thing that now Corey Graves calls him bobblehead.
Because his head is fucking massive. It's understandable. I mean, it's like
Oh god,
Fucking Wade Barrett called him a Funko Pop the other night. It was great.
it makes it so much worse for JD when his hair falls out when they're in the middle of a match and all of his hair is hanging down. It's like a fucking giant curtain.
because
great.
like I mean,
That is on the
if his mother survived the birth, give her the title for fuck's sakes. Holy shit, man! That man's head is monstrous.
Rayshawn, I am not. You're good, man. I get the Dominic Mysterio thing. It's
Fuck
right
Dominic
now. It's,
Mysterio. He's garbage. He like the best we've seen is the best we've got right now. After this, it's gonna. Okay.
we'll see where. Well, let us.
It's going down. It's going down.
Let's let Dominic finish his story. All right.
There's areas that he's green, and he have a long time to change all that. He's only
Just
He's only
let Dominic
27,
finish his story.
Which
We'll
is
let
essentially like, if you're not there, you're not there age. But he's only 27. And he's going to get it when he's 52, guys.
Like
Oh
his
my
dad-
God.
like
And
his
he's
dad
going to be Rey Mysterio Sr.
Did
And
Tess get it?
The
Test-
Test killed
Test-
himself.
Tess is dead.
Yeah, I understand that. But when
Not really. They used him as a big
Test.
guy.
Test. This is a test.
Hold on.
He
It
was-
makes me. I like Test.
I didn't hate him, but he was.
But
built
he's
to be
dead!
the guy that-
Oh,
and yes,
yeah.
he's dead. But he was. Test was built to be the guy who he was. He was never
Right.
going to go anywhere.
Yeah, he was.
Well, he went somewhere.
He either went to heaven or hell because he overdosed. I don't know how God feels about that shit.
I thought he hung himself.
That too.
Rope. This is the test.
I don't know whichever one it was. I don't know. I don't read.
You guys are
Wikipedia
terrible.
every day.
You guys are
I read it
terrible.
once. I just know he died.
all I know
When
is
somebody said that, I thought he just retired. Then I'm like, oh no, he's dead.
He retired from life.
Yeah.
He died.
Fucking quit.
By the way, I'm checking the game right now because I want to see if there is a version of Dominic Mysterio that you can have wrestle the women.
We can make one. There's definitely not one in the game.
No, I'm in the community creations.
Oh, okay.
So
You want to
But-
watch this Indian woman? Put her.
I
in a-
do.
This
I
is
don't.
fucking-
This is listen.
All right, let me leave it in.
So there is no audio. I've watched this video. I watched all of it.
Yeah.
I literally.
There's no
Okay.
verbal audio.
You can hear music. I don't.
chill out.
What?
Hold on. This video. I want everybody to watch the video.
Okay.
Tell me, what would you do?
So I'm gonna say the video is fake.
Where would I watch
care.
the video?
I don't care.
Wait,
Where?
This
JP,
fucking video.
what will oh god, what will
What
we do
would
as
you
the
do?
husband?
Just watch the
and
video.
No, I saw it already.
I
but-
know.
Where is the video?
Connor hasn't seen it yet.
Connor
We want him
hasn't
to
seen
blind
it yet.
react to it.
Where do I see
And
it?
you'll never see it.
It's on the stream.
Oh, all right. Hold on. Son of a bitch.
Are you ready?
Hold on. Oh no! Hold
Because
on.
it's playing.
Wait, I don't see nothing yet.
Video is
Hold
over.
on.
Yeah, you're right. Fuck that kid.
God damn
Look,
it!
it's
Hold on.
Dominic.
Give me a second.
That's what I would do.
Fucking
Too.
hell.
I
Hold on.
love the red circles. What are the fucking red circles telling me? Oh my god, a baby's in the fridge.
All right, okay, let me pull it up on the stream. Okay.
This is a fake video.
Yep. Okay. I can see now.
This is a fake video to me.
Care.
Why is there like
You told him to chill out.
why is there chicken on the ground? What is that?
That's dog food.
That's good dog food. Holy shit, it's better than what this
Why?
motherfucker's eating.
Why did she do that?
Hold on. It gets better.
Well,
Yeah, this is
I
no,
think
this
it gets
this is
better.
fake for sure.
Okay, basement. Nobody cares. The point is, I want to know what everybody would do in this situation.
Like, I guess
would you do?
I'm gonna start beating fucking bitches up. Nothing really, because I just take the kid to the fridge. It's been a minute. Is my answer to that question.
At this point, you should just cook the kid.
Yeah, it's like you've already doubled
All right,
down.
the gig's up, lady. You can take the baby out of the fridge.
I mean, during the like camera footage, it's only been a minute. Nothing's happened to the kid. Look at the guy. He's like, "Oh my god, your phone is the problem." And this girl's like, "Oh, all of a sudden she's pregnant again." And she can't believe it. What is on the floor? What is that on the floor? Is that a meal? It looks
That's
like a
a bowl of
meal. I
shit.
see a leg of chicken.
Finally, he takes the phone from her. Where's my kid? I don't know. What's your fucking?
What is on the floor, man? I need to know.
It's part of the towel.
They cried a lot. They don't even show them getting the fucking baby out of the fridge.
yeah,
this is fake for sure.
This is yeah.
Stand at the fucking
Yeah,
video
she starts
is
crying.
fucking
Of course.
fake.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
I
And
understand
arrows.
the video is
This
fake.
okay. So honestly, Alex Payne will only understand this, and he's not here. But like, fucking 8 years ago, I created a video where like YouTube just like focuses on like circles and arrows, and
Okay.
like they just get viewership because of it. What happened in this? If
Why
you
do we
rewatch
think
this
that
fucking
it's placed
shit,
in the-
arrow, baby in the fucking fridge, right? And then circles for days.
yeah,
There's circles
yeah.
everywhere. Circle. Look at this fridge. Circle.
It's
Oh my God.
fuck eh.
Okay,
It's a
so
nice
if your baby
refrigerator.
was put in the fridge, what would you do?
If JP was put in the fridge,
I would open the fridge and then
nope.
close it.
I would get some chains, and then I would get 1-800-GOT-JUNK.
Kids, I'm going on a fucking ride.
An arrow. He's gonna fucking clean
Will you
his head.
stop with that? I know what the video is.
Okay.
I get what it is. I
Jizz?
want to know
Uh-huh.
if this was your child,
Yes.
what would you do to this woman?
Kick her out the house without her stuff.
Probably rock bottom.
No, I
Onto
won't.
the like prepared food that's on the
I would,
ground for some reason.
You know what I would do?
No, basement. The correct answer is always combo breaker.
That is true.
breaker.
Go ahead, Connor. Go ahead.
Easy solution. Oh, how did we get to this problem? How did this happen? Oh, you were distracted. Can I see your phone for a second? And I would throw down the phone and down the fucking garbage disposal and turn it on.
I mean, I'd kill her, right? And then I would I would think about opening the fridge. I'd be like, do I want to be a father with a kid? Or, Is the fridge
No,
the right answer?
Funny
totally.
story, son.
I like how the problem, and I get what you're saying about that. This is rigged, and I find
Oh,
it
it's fake
funny
for
that
sure.
he would literally not the first thing do take the phone out of her hand and say, "Where is our fucking kid?"
And only throw it on the couch lightly.
The first thing I'd do is
The
fucking.
first thing, did you notice that when he did that, the first thing
Fucking
she
hell.
did, she went for her phone.
I would crouch down, and in the Eddie Gordo combo, just fucking torpedo her face with my feet. Then I would open the fridge, look at the kid, close the fridge, and walk away.
There's not a lot of thought in
Because at
this.
this point, the kid look like Glacier.
Whatever. He's got a problem. Find me in the afterlife.
So I was trying to do, and I get that was great. That was that is the reaction, because that is what I would do. I would roundhouse, like right now. I would just like, okay, and then roundhouse kick the fuck out of her face. That's what I would do.
Jump off the
What do you
bridge.
mean? You don't know where you put your kid? You were holding him when you walked out of the fucking bathroom. Where the fuck did you put the damn thing? Oh, I put him in the fridge. What the fuck are you
I'll
putting
put you in the
fridge?
fridge. Put you. It's if. Yeah, I swear it's Steven Seagal all over again. I know, Governor. I'll take you to the bank. The blood bank.
Ah,
It's one of the best. Honestly, man, that's one of the best scenes ever. He's in a fucking. Steven Seagal is in a fucking room by himself with a TV, and he's watching what happens. And the senator's like, "Yes, we'll take that to the bank." And he's all by himself looking at a TV. He's like, "I'll take you to the bank, Senator. The blood bank."
So later on in the movie, he takes him to the bank. That'll be $100.
The
please.
fact that he's just sitting in a room looking at a TV,
Who are you
spouting
talking
off
to?
funds. I'll take you to the bank. Blood bank.
So did we talk about the draft at all?
No, but we're about to
We'll get to that.
because we were too busy talking about this.
Oh, there was
woman's baby
actually
in the
two
fridge.
drafts. There was actually two drafts going on.
And they were all bad.
Well, the
No,
one
the
draft,
NFL
the
one
one
was
NFL
alright.
one was pretty good, but the WWE draft
Was a waste of time.
what?
Was a
Okay,
head scratcher.
I do not. And Connor, you're gonna hate me for this.
I hate you.
Lottery or not,
Oh god.
this is what you were gonna get. I knew it was gonna happen. You were not gonna get any sort of.
That was
We're moving this
way
guy
off.
to this guy. I get what I wish they would do things like that, and this is how you. But they're not doing anything new, unless
Shut up, Heather.
unless
What?
Shut up, Heather,
fuck,
in your
man.
face.
unless they do some sort of trades throughout the year. I am very disappointed in what they did the first night. Very disappointed.
No,
Now they did plant the seeds for one couple of things actually. I mean,
Yeah.
it would have been better if they
Plant
would have
those
kept one
seeds.
of them going. Well, Roman dropped out of the draft.
Oh, I saw the whole thing.
Right.
That's not
Right.
worth it.
Rod dropped out of the whole draft. So Roman. Rod dropped out of the whole they dropped the ball, is what they did.
Holy shit.
Because they took pretty much everybody that Raw took everybody that was on their show
Already, yeah.
already, which is a problem. And I think, and that this is, I know Connor said something about a draft lottery. Draft lottery would have been great if they do it organically,
Yep.
not as a, well, we got to keep these people here because this is where we want them to be.
For the
And
record, I hated the draft.
honestly, the champions, the only thing I liked about this draft, and I will say this and then I'll shut the fuck up for a minute,
Bullshit.
is that, and I said for a minute, they
I know. I
they
stand by what I said.
will and have locked all of their champions. They're not going anywhere. They're not part of the draft. which
Right.
I did not mind.
Neither did I. I still hated the draft. I hated the draft for a multitude of
It's not a
reasons.
draft.
It's just like it. So
I think the real
close.
draft.
It would be
starts
better
really on
not
Monday.
doing a draft and just having people show up.
I would have vastly preferred a lottery, because a lottery would have made
I mean,
infinitely
if
more
you're
sense.
not going to
on
change too
every
much, just
So-
have people show up.
lottery.
I don't
Lottery
get
will
no.
do that.
Don't do anything. Just have people
If you're
show
gonna
up.
if you're gonna make a thing of it, you
can't
can
have
still make a
That's
thing of it.
like for
You
me.
wanna
Don't do a thing of it. Just have people show up.
You
The
will have
only
to,
people, the only people that should be drafted are the people in NXT.
Agreed.
I don't think a draft should exist.
I
But-
think it could. I think it very well could.
I would prefer and just hear me out in terms of, like, again, if you're gonna switch people over, and I get what you mean, Basement. I mean, you can always change things up. Things change all the time. I mean, shit. Fucking Batista got injured, and they like, Kurt Angle's coming back to SmackDown, boop, and so they could do that at any point in fucking time they want to. But if you're gonna make an annual event of it, and the core idea is that you're going to shake things up, they could do the lottery. One of my favorite ones was the 04. The 04 draft lottery was, I think, a perfect example of that.
Okay, so let me ask you this. You're talking about lotteries, and I don't mind the idea. It's got to be organic, though. There were
Yeah.
storylines going on where if somebody got drafted to another place, then the fucking story ends.
Yeah,
Depends on
You're
who.
gonna have a championship match, and that guy fucking goes over to the other show. You already know who's fucking winning.
That's why they wasn't doing so much after WrestleMania, because
So,
they know the draft was
I
coming.
think
I feel like in this
if
instance,
you're gonna do a lottery like that, you have to have all of your storylines ended, all the major ones, because you
Or
can
do-
still
do-
do the little ones.
so my question to you guys is like, what is the benefit of doing like a broadcasted draft versus just doing Raw or SmackDown where people show
this
up?
This is why the NFL draft is such a big thing today.
I get the NFL draft; that's
So
different. but like,
that's what I'm saying. It's broadcasted. It's not, like they do it on TV.
so
WWE.
with
I
WWE,
really-
if you can't like pull off this thing where people are gonna be like, "Oh my god, everything's changed."
They
then-
have means to do it. I'm
But-
sorry. Do it on Peacock.
I feel
Don't
like
do that fucking
I honestly feel like unless they're gonna rearrange the fucking solar system, don't even do it.
Yeah.
Just do
Right,
it.
right.
Just
All
do
I'm
it, and
saying-
nobody knows.
I'm okay, and I understand what you're saying. Yeah, I get.
Because
what you're
all of a
saying.
sudden, these people,
but again-
that's a
but
pop.
again,
That's a
they
pop.
have to
That's a
end-
pop.
But they have to end all storyline. I don't want to make when all storylines end obvious.
I don't
Because
think
then
they
you're
need to
always
do.
looking-
Okay, I honestly don't think they need to do a fucking announcement of people changing brands. Just have people change brands, and then do the like, oh my god, this is what's happening.
But then you will have to explain why. this
No,
person's
you
on-
don't.
No, you don't. No, you don't.
They don't
As
even do
long
that
as the
anyway.
storyline- As long as the storyline, go ahead, Heather. I've said it 15,000 fucking times. Go ahead.
As long as the storyline that they were previously involved with has ended, there's no need to.
Yeah.
Or even
There's
if
no
it
reason.
didn't, who cares? It's done.
So, what if you had a situation like they did this go around, where basically you're doing the draft right before a pay-per-view, where a lot of there are a lot of rematches of Mania, or like things that are blowing off.
I honestly, do you want me to know? Do you want me to honestly tell you how they should do it? Free agency. Don't even fucking have a draft. Somebody's coming and make it like Drew McIntyre's coming up on his free agency. It doesn't have to be an actual he's coming up, his contract's up. It'll get people talking on Twitter, but it's his free agency, his contract is up with SmackDown.
I just like the less
Raw
you
has the
tell,
opportunity to pick him up.
the
What
less you
else?
tell, the better. You can have the fucking WWE universe or whoever else speculating, but you don't know it's true until WWE actually posts it, right? So even like Drew McIntyre would be like, "Oh, we heard he signed with WWE." We heard is not we know. So like the difference is like just fucking. I don't get the like trying to be a legitimate sport when you're obviously not. Idea of it. Either you do it right, or you don't do it at all. And if you're gonna do it right, you gotta have trades, you gotta have fucking free agency, and they don't do it right.
Free agency is the only way they can go unless they're doing like they have 5 or 6 NXT people, and then they can do like a Rule 5 draft.
I'm done with the draft.
However, my point is, I agree with you, Basement, 100%. Free agency though is the only way to go with it, and to have them do. We have heard that Drew McIntyre has signed with Raw or whatever. No, this is just a rumor, whatever. And then he pops up on a fucking show.
I feel like that. Sorry, yeah, go ahead.
I think the free agency that y'all talking about is happening with Roman bailing out of the draft. Yeah,
but no, all that. You want to know what it's doing, and I'm going to tell you exactly what they're doing. Roman's going to end up being on both shows. That's all that means.
Okay. Also, y'all going off of one night of a draft. And the draft is locked on, I think, May 6th. So
and that's the thing. There can be trades.
Yeah, they can be trades. I could understand if we are in May 10th and no trades happen, the roster is locked, and then yes, go ahead, shit on it. However,
okay, so I don't understand. Okay, so say they don't do a draft, right? And then rosters
when you say
exist,
that when you say draft, you mean the current iteration, like they did the most recent.
So say there's no draft, right? And everybody knows for people to be on Raw or SmackDown, and then you have things happen where Raw wrestlers show up on SmackDown and SmackDown shows up on Raw. Is that not just better than telling everybody will be everywhere all the time? When you start, like booking wise, when you start to be like, there's nothing to do with these people on Raw, maybe they'll be on SmackDown. For it to be like a moment in time where it's just like everybody here is there, I feel like that's a Vince McMahon decision more than it is a Triple H.
I'm gonna interject here, Connor, before you start, because I was at Raw where
recently.
No, I was at the Raw where Maurice and The Miz showed up dressed as John Cena and Nikki Bella, pretending to be them traded to Raw.
Yep.
And then after that, Dean Ambrose came out. That was during the shake-up period, where they didn't tell anybody where anybody went. It was always going to be a surprise on who showed up on what show. Those were the only two.
Shake-ups are great. Go ahead.
At times they can be, but they were the only two that showed up that got any kind of major reaction.
Yeah,
and
that was from the crowd in.
Well, I mean, like presence. Okay, so announcing like certain things that are like unclimactic. I'd rather see like these NXT talents just fucking show up than them being drafted, which I think takes away from like that.
I still think that's happening. But it's still
going to take away from it if it's like, oh, we know she's here. I hate that. I hate it. I honestly hate it.
I understand.
Don't they do draft after the live draft?
What?
No, they did that. The WWE draft has concluded.
It's like, oh, you know this wrestler you never knew anything about.
No, I know Baron Corbin.
She's drafted to Raw, and it's like, okay, so now I know to expect her. This is like Brock Lesnar being drafted to Raw before he showed up and beat the fucking shit out of everybody.
So Basement, I'm just gonna. I got a couple of points here on this one because I was trying to collect my thoughts because my brain go bye right now. So, I get Basement's point of like you would much rather appreciate the pop and the
Especially
surprise.
for people that aren't part of the main roster. That's stupid.
Yeah, okay, but I do believe that as far as the announcement of shifting somebody to another show or whatnot, that it does depend on the warranted individual. Depends on the character and the situation.
Well, I
of what
also
you're
feel
planning
like
on
it
doing.
depends on
So-
if you
so
paid
it-
attention to wrestling this far, and all the drafts have been fucking shit.
Okay, well, but I was gonna say what you could do is you can get the best of both worlds if you wanted to do something like another one of my favorite draft. Again, so when I say draft, I'm referring to a lottery. This whole bullshit illusion of we're shaking up the rosters.
I hate the idea of
really,
announcing
no.
people before they even come there. I hate it.
Okay, but here's what I would do. Honest to God, if you want to have if it was me in total control, I would repeat the 05 draft.
That's the one where Cena pulled the Rock, wasn't it?
No, what happened on that one was it was a draft lottery held over 4 weeks. And the way it worked is that you didn't know who was switching. It was only Raw and SmackDown, no ECW. So it was just the two brands only. So of course that made it a little easier. The idea being is like, okay, the draft lottery pick is going to show up tonight on Raw, or the SmackDown superstar is going to show up on Raw. What Raw superstar is going to show up on SmackDown, and you didn't know who it was most of the time going into it. That was the one where Jericho had he goes, "Here comes the 2005 first draft lottery pick. Come on down." It was fucking John Cena who just won the WWE title from JBL.
Yeah, I
You
remember
know what
that.
I'd be okay with if they did like a draft lottery for 10 people. And not the entire fucking roster,
Right?
and
Yep.
not doing
Right.
this and that, like making it
Hold on.
make sense. Like, I don't know.
The
Like
issue is doing that, Connor, nowadays is not going to work. Because I don't think any of the titles are switching brands.
None of them are, but you can still like have
No,
people
you can
be.
So
switch.
this is the problem that I have with the draft lottery. Unless you're going to protect, hopefully the feuds have ended.
Either treat it like
Because
an
if you
actual
do a
draft or
lottery, you
fuck
can't
off.
have-
Honestly,
If you're trying to fucking do John Cena and Randy Orton on one show, you can't have Randy Orton in the fucking draft lottery.
That's fine. I'm fine with excluding
Now,
champions. You can do whatever rules you want.
the one thing that they did do right is on Raw, they did keep Jay, which is like, oh my God, Jay might actually win the title. That is one little nugget.
I think I actually
One little
hate
nugget, and I don't like it.
I
But
hate
it
the
does
draft.
give that little nugget for storytelling that Jey Uso could very easily beat Damian Priest.
I hate the draft unless it's
I get
like
you.
no. I actually think the draft should be integrating top tier NXT talent into Raw and SmackDown, and that's it.
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't
I
think it should be Raw and SmackDown changing talent
Well,
because it doesn't make
would you
any
be opposed
sense.
to would you be opposed to the lottery idea?
I'm not against the lottery idea, but
Okay.
I still think it should be for people from NXT going to Raw and SmackDown. Honestly,
And I do not disagree.
and then just
with
make
you.
trades happen between the brands. Like what the
That
fuck?
is again, free agency, same fucking thing. Everybody's on a yearly contract with their
Well,
brand.
today's day and age, people are only really going to care about the people that were in NXT that they liked getting drafted to a brand. The move of like Jey Uso to fucking SmackDown, nobody cares. Honestly, I don't think people care that much
No, they don't.
because you're still going to get the same storyline they were doing, just in a different environment. Honestly, it should be like the up and coming future of wrestling.
Honestly, I feel that the draft is not so much as like who's going where, but it's also like to secure whatever roster you already currently had.
I get that, but
Draft
like I
is
feel
not
like it
doing
should
that.
be the draft should 100% be like every other sport. They don't end the season and redraft all the rosters.
problem
They
with that
draft the
is-
fucking younglings.
Here's what they should have done is they should have said we are going each roster gets 10 people to protect. They cannot be drafted. This includes
I
Hold on.
kind of hate the roster realignment.
Let me finish.
Let him
The
finish.
draft. I'm not saying even do a draft,
Finish
but
your
those
story, baby.
people that are they're protected. They are not going anywhere. Pick 10 people. You get 10 people to pick. They are not going anywhere. right?
Kinda like that idea.
Everybody else is put into a pool of free agency, not even a fucking draft. And then you have the interaction where the GMs, and you do this like every 2 weeks,
They're
where there's a
holding two
big free
contracts.
agent. There's a big free agent, and they kind of did it, but they have them sitting at a fucking table. Do you know what's really big right now in sports? Is what
No.
fucking high school kid is going to go to what fucking college?
So for me, this is what I would do. I would have
We already know.
the Raw and SmackDown rosters somewhat be interchangeable, and it's not gonna be this huge fucking news when someone from Raw goes to SmackDown or someone from SmackDown goes to Raw. And I agree with you. If you're gonna do a draft, you hype up draft prospects just like every other fucking sport does it. So instead of
Correct.
just being like, oh, all of a sudden NXT draft they're available, like put in the work to be like, this is the prospect. This is like the ratings of things he's good at. This is what he's good. Show a bit of clip about them, men and women, right? That's what I would like. I don't want the fucking redraft just to be a
The whole-
redraft of the main roster. Who
The actual-
cares?
The actual funny thing about this is you usually, and they can do this storyline in NXT.
So
Just- Hold on. Go ahead.
I can look. Okay, I can look at like NBA prospects or any other prospects, right? And I can
Yeah.
see like a bar graph for what they're good at. I'd
Yeah.
love that to be integrated into wrestling
Okay.
as the draft that they do, instead
not-
of it being like a rearrangement of people.
I mean, do they not do that? Like
They
No.
don't do that. They don't do that at
No.
all.
No.
Hold on. They don't acknowledge that they little stats. Like, oh, this person was a
No.
Get rid of the acknowledge me fucking button.
They
Hey,
don't
I'm,
acknowledge
unfortunately,
any of them.
I'm about to crash hard on my computer, so I have to bid you all adieu because I have
Okay.
work in the morning. I'm about to die. So you have a good night, and this is good,
Night.
some good shit. So we'll.
I'd
we'll
never
definitely pick this
draft him.
up, so.
later.
Stay drafty, everybody.
Yeah.
I am not even talking about a draft anymore. Fuck the draft. The draft does not work.
I'm
the
telling
only
you,
way
that's the way it would
the
work for me.
But if you're gonna do it, only have 4 rounds, and you have the top 8
Yeah.
people in NXT.
But then you
and they
hype
get
up
the draft.
the.
Those 4
That
people
makes sense to
are.
me, though.
I agree with you. Those 8 people are available, and each team gets to draft. They do that draft usually, and most likely the first rounders or a surprise 4th rounder fucking makes it. They have a tryout.
I prefer them to showcase people coming into the main roster than showcase people. Randy Orton went from Raw to SmackDown. Who gives a shit? Who actually gives a shit? Like, this is the
Cares. Like,
thing.
we
Like,
totally
nobody
understand what
cares.
you are- I get that. I'm not even.
and like
talking
highlighting the NXT talent coming to Raw or SmackDown would actually give them a bump. And
Yes, it
if you
would.
did do the like, oh, these are the
Yes, it
analytics
would.
on them, instead of doing that, instead of focusing on people moving from one brand to the other, that's what I would do. I don't know.
No. You are 100% what I'm trying to say, but you keep fucking interrupting me.
I'm sorry, you just never stop talking.
That's exactly where I was going with it. But even those people, they still be on fucking NXT. They
Yeah.
would be the next ones to be, and that's fine.
But I think those are the people
and
from
then
NXT going to the
you
main
bring
roster.
them up and you put them on fucking TV and you have them in preliminary matches.
It's like
and then
AAA
you-
going to the main roster.
Yes.
It's the people that, like Carmelo Hayes, Trick Williams, these guys, those are the people that I'd put in the draft. And you'd only have like 10 or 12 people.
But
And it's who gets what.
I don't want the NXT champion on fucking Raw or SmackDown. He could show up.
No, you
By
cannot
all
go to
fucking
Raw or
means.
SmackDown with a championship. You have to lose it or something has
And
to
I
happen.
understand that, but those people vying would still be on NXT more often than not, but they would still have matches every once in a while on Raw or
I just
SmackDown.
feel like they shouldn't highlight the shuffling of brands.
Not-
They should highlight
Yeah,
the
I-
insertion
you
of new
stop.
talent.
We get it. And I get it. I 100% agree with you. I don't mind that the free agent thing, but not all the fucking time. Not at one fucking time. That's what I don't want to see. If you're gonna fucking sign Randy Orton, his deal is up. They're on 1 month or 2 month or 3 month contracts, whatever the fuck they're on. So you could do it storyline and have that be a thing.
I also feel like playing
brands, and it builds a feud between the fucking brands.
I also feel like playing with the audience and what they know would be great. Like for Drew McIntyre, right? Oh, he didn't re-sign with WWE. I would play on that for as long as possible. Even if he did resign, they'd be like, well, he didn't resign. So we don't know what he's gonna do. Like I'd fuck with the people that are following you, because that's how you make good fucking television.
The only thing a draft is good for, and I've been trying to say this, is good for rookies, kids coming from college into the NFL, the NBA, hockey.
Yeah, and WWE, it's a storytelling fucking. That's what it's used for.
They tried to. Oh, we're going to switch this guy, but if you switch that guy, then we know he's not winning the title.
I hate the idea of the way that they do the draft in WWE.
I 100% agree with you. I do not disagree with you. I don't think there should be a draft. I think there should only be, if anything.
Hey, I'm not. Like I said, I'm not against the draft. I just think it should be from
from
a rookie fan base, not like, oh, we're drafting Randy Orton, a fucking 42-year-old veteran. Makes no sense.
I got you 100%. Which leads me into well, we'll talk about the NFL draft real quick. I don't want to. So it just finished. I've actually looked at almost every team that has drafted, because that's what I did all weekend pretty much when I wasn't fighting with Wendy and not helping her clean. I would honestly say, and people are going to be shocked by this, but I'm honestly going to say that the New York Jets actually had one of the better drafts this year. I'm just kidding. They did not. But I will say Chicago did really well. Green Bay, I think Green Bay, they're getting, Brian Gutekunst is getting, for Packer fans, and I'm elated, but he's getting rave reviews on his. I looked at every single one of his picks, and he didn't take Cooper DeJean, so I was happy about that. He hit every mark in the first 3 rounds, first 4 picks. He hit every fucking mark that he needed to, filled every need he needed to, and got actual talent that he picked up. Baltimore did okay, but they did the usual Baltimore thing, which is okay. The Eagles, they took Cooper DeJean, so thank you for that. They did okay. They took need. They got need with actual talent. The Patriots picked another first-round quarterback. Are they turning into the Bears?
Yes.
I do not know. The Bears went out and drafted a guy who's a little smaller than the guy that they had that could do the same thing that he can do, which makes no fucking sense to me. This guy has been in the league for 4 years. I think he's been in the league. Justin Fields will be in the league for 4 years compared to the kid that's being a rookie. But the problem is they actually put the receivers around him. So if this kid doesn't succeed with this, I don't think he's the shit. I think he sucks. Which I don't think he is the best quarterback coming out of this draft. I think the guy that was took second again this year, and I've been right about this 3 years in a row, is the better quarterback, and that is Jaden Daniels, who was taken second by the Washington Commanders. And there was a post out there today who's getting the Super Bowl first out of these 3. And the first 3 players taken were quarterbacks. I think the Washington Commanders are going to win a Super Bowl before the Bears or the Patriots. So there's that. It's been a really interesting weekend for me, sports-wise. Brewers suck. Packers had a really good draft. I watched Collision for the first time last night and wanted to fucking throw myself out a window.
I feel like I would have enjoyed the show, but it was like in the moment.
Well, back to the Swerve thing. He actually got to cut his fucking promo and then have a 20-minute match. What the fuck are they doing?
Wow, Jericho got a celebration.
Jericho,
Fucking
yeah.
MJF got
So
a
Jericho got a
celebration.
celebration. I can understand the celebration part because that's a heel thing. Swerve is a babyface, and he tried cutting a babyface promo because he was what happened to Tony. Like he tried cutting that. I'm like, dude, nobody cares. Just cut your fucking promo. He just like, we know it's fake. So stop telling us about that's kind of a bitch move. Yeah, well, yeah. Do you think? But Tony Khan is acting like a douchebag. I'd fucking tombstone pile drive his ass too, but I think that tombstone pile driver by the Young Buck. Well, no, because they're in line with what the fuck he wants to do. But Kazuchika Okada's involved in that shit too, so that's where Kazuchika Okada's at.
I
now.
mean, he is like Kenny Omega fell to Earth. His star fell to Earth and then went beyond that. And Kazuchika Okada, oh my god, what a bad decision, honestly. Both those men.
And
So
I
bad.
want
So bad.
This still is a thing. People are still crying about what fucking Triple H said about free agents or people that want to come to WWE but don't want to do the work for it. Everybody still thinks it was just directed at fucking Will Ospreay. No, Will Ospreay is like, oh, I'm going to jump on this fucking opportunity. I'm going to make a name for myself. That's all that was. Everybody knew who Will Ospreay was. He did not need to do something like that, except actually come out, be Will Ospreay, and then fucking wrestle. That's all Will Ospreay really needs to do, because honestly, Will Ospreay is one of the best wrestlers in the world. But I honestly don't give a fuck about Will Ospreay right now.
And neither does anybody.
Right.
I mean, like, when I say anybody, it's like if you're not an AEW fan, you don't care. And the problem is, like, if you weren't an NJPW fan, you don't care. And this is the same. Like, Kenny Omega, we saw what happened with him in AEW. This is what's gonna happen with fucking fucking. It's gonna be the same thing with Will Ospreay. It's gonna be the same thing with Ospreay. It's gonna be the same thing with Okada. They don't have the ability to build anything. It's like if you were big before, you'll be big here, but less.
I think I've said this numerous times. I don't think I've said it tonight. If you want to just do wrestling, fine.
Yeah.
Just let me know when that match is. I'll flip back and forth real quick.
But
I'm not going to sit and watch you, but I will watch that match, and I did, and I have watched that Will Ospreay and Bryan Danielson match, and it was really good. But that doesn't mean I'm going to sit there or there was a match on TV. I think it was that one, wasn't it?
Well, what people don't understand is like, yeah, if you want to wrestle. If I want to play basketball, I'll play basketball in the fucking YMCA.
Don't try telling me you're something you're not.
If you want to
AEW is telling me that we are wrestling, but we kind of want to do they're stuck in trying to be entertainment, and they just don't want to fucking say it because they don't want the fans turning on them. But yet they want to do pro wrestling. WWE does pro wrestling, but they do entertainment, and they say what they are. Just say it. It's okay. We don't care. That's all we want. If you want to become an alternative to WWE, tell everybody what the fuck you are. Quit trying to sell me that you're fucking pro wrestling when you're fucking actually sports entertainment. I would care more. And I would be like, you know what? I can just sit and watch this, which I do. And that's how I treat it. I treat it as sports entertainment. I don't treat it as pro wrestling. I treat WWE as entertainment.
My problem is,
but I'm more invested in what WWE does than fucking AEW because they say what they are. Go ahead.
My problem is AEW exists in a realm that I'm not really like part of, where I think like a lot of their fan base and a lot of their love is coming off like TikTok, or
Yes.
it's coming off of a realm where people have the attention span of a fly. And that's what sells. It's like, I can't watch something unless I'm watching something else. That's me. It's like, okay, I've seen
Hence
enough
being
TikTok
the elite.
videos. I've seen enough TikTok videos where it's like, hey, I'm gonna talk to you about like life and how hard it is to live. And then in the bottom, it's Mario Kart. And it's like, okay, so you're obviously like playing on the fact that like people that are born in the 90s have the attention span of a goldfish.
Right.
And it's like, I can't listen to what you're saying unless I'm seeing something that I can just get along with.
Right. Yeah, it's I just
That's their audience, man. This is my point. That's the audience.
And I get it, and I understand it, and I'm okay with it.
I don't get it.
Yes.
And I don't understand it.
No, I understand why they do what they do.
Yes, but I
Don't get it.
if I'm a person that's like, I'm a wrestling fan, but I'm also a fan of watching Mario Kart on reruns, I don't get the brain dead TikTok audience. I just don't get it. I can never get it. I can never be like, oh, I'm interested in this thing, but I'd also like to see you play a mobile game forever. What? What the fuck am I watching?
Give me the comedy skits or give me the funny pictures with the funny sound effects. Give me that shit.
Give me somebody that actually has skill in doing something. I mean, skill in doing something will always be rewarded some way or somehow.
Correct.
If I'm watching somebody playing fucking Mario Kart on like an N64 emulator, while also being like, I just really love Okada. The fuck am I watching, man?
Kenny Omega.
The people I prefer to watch, their videos, yes, they're made on TikTok, but they show up on my Facebook and they show up on my Twitter.
I can't use TikTok.
I know.
I can't.
But,
I will kill myself before I go on TikTok.
but they are people who are emergency room nurses or overnight stay resident nurses. And people like that, or hairdressers, where they're doing skits of what came in the ER today and how did I handle it, or how I wanted to handle it, or it's the Karen customer that came in, and it's the funny skits that yes they're using green screen. But they're using their talent to act and portray their day to make it entertaining for you. And it actually is quite entertaining because it is fucking hilarious, some of the shit they come out with.
Yeah.
I get to the point where it's like, if you're going to have time to do that.
So, Neos, I think if you're going to do a draft, and we're talking about Darby Allin, which we talked about at the beginning of the show, I think WWE will draft the bus before they draft Darby Allin.
The bus did beat him.
They'll draft the plate glass before Darby Allin. I find the
Alpha with that. Look at the Alpha confidence. He's like, Basement, give me someone with skill. In other words, me when playing Fall Guys. Look at that. He did get us a win.
Hey, so Alpha, were you that midget climbing down the fucking prison wall? Seems a little condescending.
You know what? He did give us a win.
Yes, he did.
Okay,
but it wasn't my only win. I've had multiple wins on
Whoop fucking E. Whoop fucking E.
So yes, Alpha, you're right.
But yeah, I don't even remember what we were talking about.
Good.
Honestly, like WWE draft sucked. I honestly think this was the problem is it shouldn't have happened. In general, I think personally, I'd be okay with like the roster just randomly rearranging when need be, versus a draft that kind of like forces themselves into. I feel like the draft is more like a Vince McMahon thing if they're not going to be serious about it.
The only reason they use that is to get. Oh my God! There's a draft. It's a hashtag thing. The WWE, because people are looking to see. So the NFL draft was going on at the same time.
Fine.
So WWE, but that's why they call it that, because they're gonna get those viewers. That's what they did, and I don't.
That's fine, but they didn't do it good.
No, 100%. I agree with you.
So, I mean, they might have got a bunch of people that just love drafts.
Yeah.
They watch it, it was like, what the fuck? I don't think WWE is like attracting a bunch of people that are just like fucking skinning their dick for drafts.
They were just trying to piggyback off of a popular hashtag that they knew was going to exist at this time of year.
It's almost like Tony Khan showing up in a neck brace.
I don't think it's going to go away anytime soon.
I don't like the draft because I don't think they treat rosters as like actual competitors.
They are using. The only reason they're doing it is because
it's not done properly ever.
It's never been done right.
Yeah.
The
thing is, like, if your whole idea of doing a draft is be like, oh, it's gonna be easy to do Survivor Series. It's like, fuck you in the face. Either present like Raw and SmackDown fighting each other for months before, or shut the fuck up. Honestly, I hate the idea that all of a sudden it's Survivor Series and the brands are facing each other. What am I, a fucking 7-year-old kid with fucking Down syndrome?
I honestly don't think that's going to be a thing anymore.
No, thank you.
That's not going to be a thing anymore.
They've always been fighting each other.
Raw versus
no.
SmackDown Survivor Series. You may see it.
Well, what else is it going to be?
But it's what?
What else is going to be?
What has it been the last 2 fucking years?
Raw versus SmackDown.
No, it hasn't.
It has been 4 games.
Yeah.
That was last year. Was it?
But it was no.
4 games the year before too.
Yeah.
Was it Raw versus SmackDown?
No. Wait, was it? Yeah, it was. But it was built.
Oh my God! It was Raw.
No, now stop. There was actually built-in storylines.
The storyline began when I was dropped by my mother.
It was the Bloodline storyline.
That was last year. That was the last Survivor Series.
Yeah.
Okay,
I survived SIDS. And now I'm here.
Wait, no, it wasn't.
Yes, because wasn't the Survivor Series just before that one?
It was
more NXT.
So the go ahead.
Wasn't the one before that one more NXT based because a lot of the superstars were still stuck in Saudi?
Though that actually happened on NXT though. That's where War Games got started.
I thought the only War Games Survivors match was this last Survivor Series.
No, because the Bloodline have been involved twice.
Yeah, but the last Survivor Series was not a War Games.
The first one.
Okay, so last Survivor Series was War Games. The Survivor Series before that was not.
Yes, because the Bloodline was with Sami Zayn.
Yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And then it was Kevin Owens, Cody Rhodes.
Yeah, you're right.
Right before WrestleMania.
Right before? This is like 6 months before.
Oh my God, dude!
I'm looking it up right now.
So
I'm
2000.
When it takes place.
No, the Bloodline has been involved in both of them, or maybe not both of them. You have to look at the first one. Was
Survivor Series fucking sucks, man. Fix that shit.
But it hasn't. But they aren't gonna do that anymore. It's not gonna be Raw versus SmackDown anymore.
What do you, Miss Cleo? You know the future.
It had.
They didn't do it this year.
It had to been Raw versus SmackDown for a bit, for 2 years now, 3 years maybe.
This year they didn't do it. I know for a fact they didn't do any fucking Raw versus SmackDown shit for the Survivor Series. It was all about the bloodline and some other.
But now they're
fucking-
doing the draft. You think they'll do
The
it again?
Judgment Day was in a fucking War Games match. That's what it was.
Against?
It was Judgment Day, and then it was the Bloodline with
Were
Sami
they-
Zayn.
Were they on the
With
same
Sami
brand?
Zayn kicked Kevin Owens in the nuts.
Were they on the same brand?
No, because the Judgment Day were in the War Games this year. For this Survivor Series, last Survivor Series.
I'm
And
just
they
gonna
had
say,
Edge.
if
Edge
it's Survivor
was in it.
Series, they're gonna rely on like brand versus brand, and they're gonna rely on it in like the last second. It's like, oh yeah, we are
Basement,
competing.
you just traumatized. That's it.
I am, because Survivor Series fucking sucks. It sucked for so fucking long. I don't care if War Games is part of it. It's like, oh, by the way, we're competing right now. Join in.
They haven't done that in 2 years. I don't know what the fuck you're watching. They haven't done it in 2 years. They haven't.
Oh, I feel like they've done that.
No.
He's right. In 2023, it was the women's War Game match was Bianca Belair, Charlotte Flair, Shotzi, and Becky Lynch defeated Damage Control.
They were all on the same show.
And
SmackDown.
the men's was Cody Rhodes, Seth Rollins, Jey Uso, Sammy, and Randy.
They were all on
versus the
Raw.
Bloodline. 2022.
Or, well, Roman was on both shows, but you get what I'm
Hold
saying.
on.
Go ahead.
It was
The year before that.
This is 2022. For the men's, it was the Bloodline, which was Roman and Jey and Jimmy Uso and Solo, versus Brawling Brutes, which was Sheamus, Ridge Holland, Butch, and Drew McIntyre, and Kevin Owens.
Which was when Kevin Owens got kicked in the nuts. That's when Sammy kicked Kevin Owens in the nuts.
Yes.
To prove that he was a part of the bloodline, which built that fucking story to where Sami Zayn got
And both of
at
them
the next year.
And both of those Survivor Series did not have the traditional 5v5.
Or the Elimination Chamber, right? Because that
Right.
happened in Montreal.
Well, they shouldn't have the Elimination Chamber had Survivor Series.
They didn't. No. I'm saying that Roman Reigns and Sami Zayn had their match at Elimination Chamber in Montreal
They
that year.
did.
Yes.
If it wasn't that
'Cause-
pay-per-view, I know they did that.
Because it was Royal Rumble that Sammy turned on.
I just
Roman.
feel like, okay, so if you're gonna have like a brand versus brand, either you go in with it or you don't do it at all.
I don't think they're gonna do it anymore unless there's.
I
a
just hate it then. Just don't do it. Just don't do it. Who cares?
The
What does
last
it
time
matter?
The last time they did the traditional 5v5 was 2021.
Yeah.
My
was
question to
years
you guys
before.
is like, why have brand versus brand if it's only gonna be like nothing?
That 1 last second invasion.
Yeah. I just
Oh,
I hate it.
Yeah,
I hate
I
it so
100% agree with you. If you're gonna do it, build to it. Don't just waste your.
much. Just don't do
fucking
it.
one- No, you can do it.
But they're
You
not. They're
can.
not going to do anything with it, which is what infuriates me. Unless it's like in the moment and they have to have like a last minute like,
What do you
oh,
want
it's
them
Raw
to do?
versus
Okay,
SmackDown.
if they were to do that, what would you want the stipulation? So there needs to be a stipulation.
So
You're
for
talking
me,
about-
if you're gonna separate Raw and SmackDown, you do the King of the Ring as a actual tournament at a pay-per-view, Raw versus SmackDown. You
Okay.
do Royal Rumble,
what
Raw
we're
versus
gonna do.
SmackDown. You do Survivor Series, Raw versus SmackDown, and then you have like the things that you do Raw versus SmackDown mean something.
like
you have the
what?
king.
That's my
You have the
point.
King of the Ring being the challenger for the main title at SummerSlam.
Okay.
You have Survivor Series being the 30th entrant on Royal Rumble. Like
Okay.
that's where I'm going with this. Like if you're going to
Got you.
separate shit, make it mean something, or just
Got
don't
you.
do it at all.
100% agree. That's why I asked that question. I wasn't going to argue that you're wrong because you are.
No,
100%
we've talked about this many
Yes.
times where it's like if you're gonna do like interbranded shit, make it mean something. Have
Yeah, exactly.
SummerSlam
Like,
have
okay,
something.
they could really play off of this. I mean, because starting at WrestleMania, going from Survivor Series to WrestleMania, it could be all right. Well, your brand has won this many matches
Mhm.
for Survivor Series, and then Royal Rumble, and then Mania. You know,
No.
and then so by that point, let's say Raw has 5 matches won, and SmackDown has 3 matches won out of the interpromotional matches.
This is why I don't like the brand versus brand stuff because it becomes very difficult to book with.
It's not really, because if you go off of what I'm going here, Raw now has 5 interpromotional match wins. SmackDown has 3.
Okay.
Raw is the defending champion of that, going from WrestleMania to the next Survivor Series.
The problem is when you make like things worth something long term, you kind of like pigeonhole things to be separated, or like I'm just saying like oh my god, this person won the Money in the Bank. Next pay-per-view, the other brand is gonna win whatever the fucking goal is. This is where like I'd prefer to have the goals resolved before WrestleMania. So for instance, like King of the Ring, the winner fights the champion at SummerSlam. Like resolve things before they get to WrestleMania, and have
Okay.
things make sense. Like I don't know, Money in the Bank is a good thing. Like I mean, you get the title, you get the cash in. You can do it whenever, right? I think King of the Ring should be cashed in at SummerSlam. That gives SummerSlam a boost, and it gives them storytelling capabilities for SummerSlam. It just makes sense to me.
Yeah, but that's if they go the route of winning the King of the Ring solidifies your chance at either mid-card or championship.
I think it should be a World Championship match at SummerSlam, and I think the King of the Ring should be done during weekly programming, not necessarily a pay-per-view. But I can get behind that pay-per-view.
Hey,
I'd rather King Arabia a whole entire pay-per-view.
I
They
do,
did it
but
back in the day.
like the problem is you have like reoccurring.
So I don't mind. So you got to and I hear what you're saying, Ray Sean. But you think about that. You're already going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 matches, right? You have 7 matches booked out, right?
Yep.
You can't just let them guys go for right on through. You got to give them a little bit of a break.
I feel like they do the
So you gotta
preliminaries
have other
beforehand.
matches in between that. Now they have done it where those preliminary matches, and this is where you put the higher.
Mm-hmm.
This is where
I would
wins
do.
and losses make matter.
This is what
So
I would
they
do.
would like have Hulk Hogan face the Brooklyn Brawler, and then they'd have this guy face this guy. They'd have Ric Flair, let's say, face Buddy Landell. And then you know where they're going with it. They're building to Hulk Hogan and Ric Flair, right?
At the pay-per-view, I would have 3 matches. So I'd have the
Yes, but
Yeah.
I would have the tag team championships.
No, I'm saying like yes, you can involve those, but for the actual King of the Ring, I would
No.
have the I would have the
it.
winner. Okay, so I would have 3 matches. I would have the people that you do 8 matches for it, and you have the one-on-one, and then the finality at the pay-per-view. All 3 of those at the pay-per-view. You would do the first one at the first match, then mid-card, then final match.
I am not following you at all. You're saying do the preliminary matches on the weekly show.
Yes.
I disagree with that. If you're gonna do a King of the Ring fucking pay-per-view,
Well, then you're gonna have 8 matches at the pay-per-view.
No, you're gonna have more than that. You're gonna have more than that. You're gonna have 10 because you're gonna want to give those guys.
How are you doing these tag team matches and everything else you're proposing?
The first 4 matches can be King of the Ring. You have those right off the top. Then you have a tag team match, right?
Why would you have a tag team match?
Because you can't fucking just let fucking guys.
Yeah,
that
but
are
you
in
want.
the
But the
fucking-
thing is, you want to have all the King of the Ring matches.
I
No.
understand that. That's what I'm
You are-
saying. But you can't have. Let's say these 4 guys wrestle.
So you're gonna
right?
have 7 matches, King of the Ring matches at the pay-per-view.
So you're gonna have those guys wrestle right after they wrestled, right? Then you're gonna have if you get down to the semifinals, you're gonna have guys that are gonna be wrestling right after they had a 20 fucking minute match.
That's why I'm having the
That makes
semifinals.
no fucking sense to me.
That's why I'm having the
whatsoever.
semifinals outside. I'm having the preliminary weekly and doing
Yeah.
the semifinals at the pay-per-view.
But I'm basing it off of what Rayshawn said. This is
Yeah.
and this is why I'm saying you can't just do that. Because then you're gonna have to give a break in between.
Yeah, you're not gonna have
You're gonna
fucking
have to have
4 matches or 3
You're gonna
matches at the
have at
pay-per-view.
least 3 or 4 other matches in that show.
So you'd end up with 3 actual matches at the pay-per-view for the King of the Ring.
Basement. I am explaining to Rayshawn White doesn't work. Having the
Well,
king, the whole tournament on one show.
It will only work if it's like 8 competitors. Then, like, okay,
Right. But again,
I would absolutely
you know,
love the
yeah.
King of the Ring being a PLE special like the Cruiserweight Classic. I could get behind that. But if they're gonna integrate it into a real actual pay-per-view, it's gotta be the last 2 matches and then the actual
You
last
are
match.
correct, Basement. But what I am, 100% agree with you. What I am saying, and Rayshawn, you can't have these 8 guys wrestle. The 2 guys at the top are going to that wrestled that won their matches in the previous brackets. You're gonna have them wrestle, right? Done. You're gonna essentially have no more than 15 fucking minutes, and the guy just got back to the back to get himself refreshed,
Get some water.
do his thing, stretch out a little bit because he's just in a 20-minute fucking match. He's got to come right back out and he's got to have a match. Then what you're going to do is you're going to have breaks in between those. So you're going to have to do something like this is the World Tag Team title, and they have done it. They have done a King of the Ring. Those first 4 matches cannot last any more than 3 to 4 minutes. Because you are going to kill somebody's going to get fucking hurt.
If you have Peacock, go in there and look for just King of the Ring. There were so many of them that were the full tournaments in a whole pay-per-view.
The very first King of the Ring, I don't think any of the first 4 matches lasted more than 6 minutes. Because what they were doing, and Vince did it, and then they had a World Tag Team match, they had a Tag Team match, and they had an Intercontinental title match. And I think they did another, just like a mini feud that wrestlers were having. And they did that in between the semifinals so that they could give a break to those guys. Because yes, I know these guys can wrestle for fucking 4 hours if they had to. However, it doesn't make it look real. Like that guy can just come right back out and have another 25-minute match. Makes no sense. That's the problem that I have with doing all of the competitors on one fucking show. What Basement is saying, and I 100% agree with it, then you can do those 2 matches, give them guys a break, and have that be the undercard to the main event. That works. Because they will have had at least a 2.5 hour break in between their matches. Does that make sense?
Makes sense.
That's what I would do. And that Vince did do that. Because he would do the King of the Ring where they did it on they do it preliminarily, and then they would do the semifinals. In fact, they did that with
the very first one. Because I have it here. It was 1993, and at the pay-per-view, they had King of the Ring quarterfinal match. There was only 1, 2, 3, 4 of them, and then it went to the semifinal matches, and then the final match.
But they had matches in between that, though.
Yes, they started this show with the USWA Unified World Heavyweight Championship.
That's a dark match, though.
They started the show with that.
Well, they did.
And fuck off. And then there was a singles match for the WWF Championship, an 8-man tag team match, and a singles match for the IC Championship.
Which was the main event.
The
actual finals.
King of the Ring.
Well, that's because Bret
final.
Hart was a bigger star then.
And it was a King of the Ring fucking pay-per-view.
Correct. Well, the King of the Ring, you go to the fucking, next one, the fucking main event was fucking Bret Hart versus fucking Diesel for the WWF Championship. Just because it's the fucking King of the Ring doesn't mean the fucking King of the Ring match has to be the fucking main event.
Actually, it was Roddy Piper and Jerry Lawler.
Okay, well, whatever. You know what I mean. It's been done. The Survivor Series. What was the fucking the Royal Rumble? What was the main event of fucking, not this Royal Rumble, but the Royal Rumble before? It was fucking Sami Zayn versus Roman Reigns. It wasn't a fucking Royal Rumble match.
Yeah, but
does it always have to be the name of the fucking pay-per-view being the fucking main event? No.
I don't think anyone said that.
She did.
Oh.
Alright, that's enough. We got nothing else to talk about here tonight. Fuck the draft. Everybody hated it, apparently.
Yeah, I didn't like it. The NFL draft I loved. Because there was really intriguing draft. Because I was right 95% of the fucking time.
The WWE draft bored me.
It did.
The draft itself.
That's
why I'm like, why even do it?
The draft was actually pretty good, though.
Yeah.
The kind of softballed this shit. I think it was intentional because they didn't want to change too much. But I'm like, why even do
the things that they did change? They changed on SmackDown, and I did like the interaction between what they're really pushing Carmelo Hayes not to be the next guy.
Well, I feel like
they're making him look like a superstar because he came out, he called his shot.
I saw him take Cody Rhodes to his limit, which I don't know how I feel about.
Take him to his limit. The match wasn't that long.
It wasn't as spectacular as Cody usually is either.
Well, yeah, Cody, but it also I mean, watching what I've seen of that match, I'm like, that doesn't look like a champion.
I just have a question.
Well, I disagree with you because I think they called that final spot before the end to be a thing.
I don't like the idea of bringing someone up from NXT and being them on par with your current champion.
Yeah. Come on, who cares?
I care. I don't think in what world? Okay, so
Carmelo Hayes will be just
so Carmelo Hayes could pretty much beat Roman Reigns, is what we're saying.
He didn't come close.
That's what he's saying.
This is why I don't like the idea. Yeah,
but he didn't bury him either.
He didn't bury him, but he put up a pretty decent fight. I don't like this idea at all of being like, oh, you're the number one NXT talent, you're coming up, and you're gonna put the world champion on the ring, on the back pedal.
Come on, man, it's his arrogance.
Whose arrogance?
Carmelo Hayes's.
That doesn't make sense.
Sure, it fucking does.
Because if it was his arrogance, he would have been.
He's always
a non-competitor.
Is exactly that. He has a ego,
but
it's paid off because he fucking took him to the limit.
All I'm saying is that if you can't hang with the champion, then you can't hang with the main event.
Didn't take him to the limit.
Well, he hung with the champion.
Okay, so then he deserved his spot at the main event roster.
Yeah, which is weird to me.
Oh my god,
it's weird to me. It was like they oversold him.
No, they didn't. They didn't. No, they didn't.
So Cody had no problem with this guy.
Not really. The match didn't last as long as you think it did.
Yeah, but look at the match in its entirety. It wasn't like Cody was fucking running the match.
Well, he was letting Carmelo shine.
Yeah, but like this
Well,
is the
yeah, but
unless Carmelo
Cody
is the
Rhodes-
next in line,
Cody-
I don't
Cody
get it.
Cody Rhodes is a champion. He should be running the show.
Yeah.
And I think Cody
However,
Rhodes did run
okay,
the show.
so Carmelo Hayes versus Roman Reigns, would it play out that way?
No, he would have
That's
been
two
squashed.
different
I
characters.
think it would have.
No way.
I don't think, but you make it sound like he took him to the limit, like to the limit. Not even close. Not even close.
I don't know. I just feel like there was too much
He would have
exposure.
taken his shot.
I feel like there's too much exposure for
He
Cody Rhodes
did.
being
They
like.
did the John Cena thing with him.
I was just about to say that John Cena did that for a lot of guys. Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens.
With the John Cena and fucking Kurt Angle thing. That's
Mhm.
all they
Yeah,
did.
he just got the title.
Yeah, he just got back from
I
England.
don't know. I didn't like the idea of him being
I
like.
don't care. But he wasn't close to losing. I don't know where you get that thought at all.
He wasn't going to lose.
We all know he wasn't going to lose, but he had to showcase that
He
NXT
didn't.
talent.
No, he didn't.
I just have a question
100%
on the
showcase
draft.
NXT
Like,
talent.
why sign Braun Breaker to SmackDown? Make this big thing about it.
And
And
then
then
trade him. Then
Trade him to Raw.
draft him
Draft
over.
him to Raw.
It's for Netflix.
I think he was a superstar that should have just stayed with SmackDown.
No.
He's a superstar. He may not carry his father's or his uncle's name, but he carries their likeness, and people at Netflix
Love it.
know the Steiners.
Well,
So
they're going to be slow with everything.
They-
Triple H is slow with every fucking thing in the world.
Yeah, but
Well,
Man
this
is
was-
on the last
this
time.
was TKO telling that we're siding with Netflix.
Yeah,
that's
but
the case,
I'm
basically
gonna
just-
tell
that's not,
you.
that's not what we're talking about.
I'm
Braun
telling you right
Breaker
now.
will be fine. Braun Breaker
I'm telling you
needs
right
to be-
now, Braun Breaker's not going to have a problem, but Triple H is slow as fuck. The man will take his time with everything he does.
I understand.
What I'm trying to say is that instead of bringing him up to the main roster and signing him to a specific brand, knowing that you're gonna do the draft
I hate
in
the
a couple
draft.
of weeks,
In all
just
honesty.
bring him up to the main roster, have him fight on
or
Raw and SmackDown.
Just do what you
and
should have
get
done
him
and
in
not
the
have a
Raw.
draft and have
They
people
did
show
that.
up.
They did that shit with fucking Roman Reigns.
Just have people show up. Don't do it. What is the point of the draft?
So
I
if he
don't
comes
get
up,
it.
draft, whatever the fuck he does, Basement. The point is, what he's saying, and I kind of understand what he's saying, is when he came up, he came to SmackDown. And no more than 2 months later, he ends up on Raw.
Which is
I
what is the
understand that.
point of the draft?
And then I get what you're saying. I'm not, fuck the draft.
This is
Fuck
the way I
whatever.
feel is like just bring people up when they're
We need-
ready to be brought up.
Yes, 100%. Agreed.
I think we're all agreed, but like I hate the idea of like
But
we're
when
gonna
Braun
tell you
Breaker
who's
got-
Ah!
gonna win and how.
when
Stop.
Braun Breaker got brought up, he shouldn't have got assigned to a brand. He should have just been wrestling.
No. Because, again, Rayshawn, they did that with fucking Roman Reigns, and you've seen where that went.
Well,
Okay,
he's now the
Roman Reigns
biggest
turned out
thing in the
good.
business.
But Roman and Braun is two different
Mm-hmm.
things.
No. I understand they're two different people.
But the
I said
Roman's
big.
name is bigger.
I mean, you're gonna bring in Braun Breaker. You're bringing him as a destroyer, in my
Yes.
honest opinion. You don't
He
need to
only-
assign him to a brand. He just needs to come in and start
No.
beating up fucking bitches.
I honestly think you will not see cross branding anymore. Period. Bottom line, I've said it 5,000 fucking times. I don't think it's happening unless they do inter-promotional shit.
But like the thing is, nobody. Me personally, I don't care about
get it.
fucking like who's on Raw and who's on SmackDown. It's fake. It's fucking fake. Just
Yes.
bring in
But-
people when there's hype. That's it.
Got it. Understood. All I'm saying is that the only reason they did that, Ray Sean, is because they're going to Netflix. They're not going to be on fucking Fox. SmackDown's not going to be on Fox. It's going to be on USA.
But that has nothing to do with Braun Breaker.
It has everything to do with Braun Breaker. I'm telling you, they are building him to be the next big thing.
Okay. Why does that matter if it's on
Because
Netflix
Netflix has more viewership than USA does.
And
That's why.
okay.
I don't know how. You want me to say it in plain English? They're trying to make money. That's
But if he's a big name now, he'll be a big name then.
it. Put him on fucking Netflix. There's more viewers over there. That's the point. People will then be like,
I would
"Where's
argue
Braun Breaker
that there's
gonna go?
more
Is he gonna go
viewers
to
over
USA?
there.
Hey, I might watch USA too. That's the point. That's why they're doing what they're doing.
I would argue that there's more viewers, like in terms of wrestling, on Netflix than there is on USA.
That's what I'm saying.
That's not what you're saying.
Yes, it is. That's why they moved into Raw. Raw's going to Netflix.
I said I would argue that there's more viewers on Netflix than there is on USA.
I can argue that there is. It's not. You think there's only 2 million people that watch fucking Raw on USA or on Netflix? Sorry, in the USA. I don't give a fuck about Canada or fucking Japan or I don't give a fuck about that.
I think that viewership will actually dip a little bit going on Netflix. originally.
Netflix is probably Japan doesn't get fucking USA basement.
Yeah, no, that's fine, but I do feel like the audience will
my
dip
point.
slightly.
That's my point.
At first, there will be a dip as people adjust,
Yeah.
but once they make that
Yeah,
adjustment,
I mean,
they're actually going to go up.
I think it's
yeah.
because they are Netflix is international. It's not like fucking Peacock.
But Netflix is like it depends on the international like guidelines for what can be shown. So not everything is
And
the
they'll
same. Like
probably
Canadian
follow
Netflix
those
is different
guidelines.
than American. It's different than communist China.
And I understand that. They will follow the guidelines.
So I actually think the way I feel is like the viewership will dip, but the money will increase.
I think they'll end up with more viewers on Netflix than they will USA here in the United States.
Well, the problem with Netflix is like live versus not live in terms of viewership.
Mm-hmm.
I think
if
the live viewership
I
will
think
dip.
Netflix. I bet you Netflix does go live with it.
Yes, but it will dip. It will dip for sure in my mind.
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
Because if you think about it, basement, there.
Well,
are
first of all, it will not dip. It will be probably like 1/3 of the amount that people are watching. But overall, I think like the live viewership will dip.
Basement. Netflix is international. It's not just
Yes.
here.
But if I can watch it after it's done, if I get to that point,
Okay,
the
but
live
they're still
viewership
gonna-
will dip.
yeah.
Yeah,
Well, they
that's all I'm
won't
saying.
care. The ratings won't fucking matter then.
Ratings
That's the
don't matter
point.
now. Nobody
Exactly.
cares.
Yeah.
But I will say, like, they will have a big boost live when it first goes live. And then
Okay.
it will, like, AEW itself in terms of, like, live viewership. I was just saying, like, people will pay attention more to the rewatch.
People will pay attention, more attention though, because then they'll know I don't have to watch it then. If I get to watch it, that's great. That's fine. I'm okay with that. I don't know why.
Going to Netflix is a huge bonus for WWE.
Yes.
In all honesty.
But that's why they moved Braun Breaker to USA. Cody Rhodes has already got people. The WWE fans are gonna fucking watch both brands. So you're gonna see probably, oh, they're moving to USA. Okay, I'm gonna watch. I guess I need to get cable now or whatever. I need to get the fucking.
I don't think that's gonna happen.
Well, then you might even see. You're gonna see that viewership definitely dip because people are like, I can just see it on Peacock a month later. But you're still gonna get the 2 million viewers because somebody they gotta have cable. They want to watch live TV, and it's really hard to fucking get fucking antenna. You know. Because football is all over fucking cable TV.
Well, in Canada,
it's not just
there's
on
no
NBC,
such thing
CBS.
as like antenna anymore. Everything's paid for. But
Well, it used to be that's all. It was always on NBC or CBS or ABC. That was it. It was never on ESPN. And I'm talking about football. ESPN. It wasn't on the. They didn't have an NFL Network. So that is football. That's why football is as big as it is. WWE is becoming the same thing. I would argue that they're right there with the NFL as far as not viewership, but as far as bringing in money.
okay, so my question to you is: do you think them being on Netflix long term, not just like in the immediate, is going to be like the same or more viewership?
I think you'll go ahead, Heather.
I've been trying to say it for the past half hour, but neither of you would shut the fuck up.
Okay.
You are all forgetting the fact that there are so many people that do not have cable whatsoever that as soon as they turn on Netflix, they're going to see WWE Live. What's this? Click on it.
So,
and that's going to be your, again, going back to the Attitude Era where you had 11 to 12 million people watching.
so what a lot
I
of
don't think you're correct.
Yeah,
there,
no,
Heather.
you are. Nope, she's right. Because a lot of the streaming services like that we have, they ask you what your interests are.
Yeah,
And
so
the first thing that will pop up, like if I put, like they did it for Peacock, you start watching something and that's all that pops up on your thing. And that's all you're going to see. So they ask you, you sign up for said streaming service and it asks you what your interests are. Oh, I like wrestling. I like football. I like, baseball, this, that. That's all you see. You can get it to the point where that's all you're going to see on your what's coming. You know how Netflix and Peacock and all them streaming services do this is what's on our channel? That's why they
but
do that.
I don't think you're going to get a bunch of people that aren't interested in wrestling to be like, I love it now.
I'm not saying that.
Well, I
Nobody's
mean,
saying-
Heather was saying that.
I'm not saying, I only said 11 to 12 million people. There's more than that on Netflix right now. It's
There's
over
no
20
chance
to
that
30
12 million
million.
people are going to be watching Raw.
But it's international thing, and I think it's for them, for the international audience, so that they can fucking watch it live if they want to.
They were already watching it live.
Yes, you are. But people
No,
in
they
Sri
were
Lanka,
They were too, trust me, man. Those guys are scammers left, right, and center.
whatever. You get what I'm saying. My point
I
is,
know. I mean, I feel like the availability of it is solid. I don't think that Raw or SmackDown, whatever it is, going to Netflix is going to explode the audience base. I feel like it's just going to like it might increase it by like 150,000, but I don't think it's going to do anything else.
but I don't
that.
think they care. How
No,
about that?
I agree with that. I agree with that 100%.
They're still going to get a paycheck and they're still going to fucking make money and then they're going to
Hey, I agree
bigger
with
and bigger.
that. But like,
I honestly
my
see
actual
WWE.
my actual fucking question was, do you see this like changing the wrestling sphere of things? And I don't think it will. It's just going to evolve to where viewership is going in general.
I honestly think they're going to end up going back to the WWE network at some point.
I love that because I love the WWE. Honestly, I love the WWE network. I thought it was a great idea, but it also it assumes that you have enough fan base to fund it.
They will get their fan base and then they will They will say WWE Network. We're going back here. $9.99.
I think the worst thing the WWE Network did was, first of all, dissolve. Second of all, kill their movie making company.
Yeah.
Because I honestly think, man, I know they're fucking stupid fucking B movies and shit like that, but there is a market, and The Rock will show you that there's
that is needed to be their own stuntmen in the simple situation.
Even if they aren't, The Rock will show you there's a market for wrestlers. John Cena.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a market for wrestlers turned actors.
All I want to say about to finish up is the ending to the Cody versus Carmelo Hayes match. That was a work.
The failed.
Yes, that was
he hurt his arm or whatever.
Yeah, so he sold his arm,
Yeah.
which he's like, okay, we've been going, and this is why I said, okay, I'm gonna let you get your shit in, but I'm gonna kick your ass, and then that's why I don't think he really pushed Cody. Cody was selling an injury, which made Carmelo look strong, which is fine.
I mean, I'm of two minds about like your actual champion selling an injury that they might not continue to sell after the match. That I don't like.
But he still sold it though,
because AJ came in and grabbed his arm, and you wrenched that arm away, and it was like, God, no.
Which is going to be that pay-per-view is this next weekend.
I can get behind that.
So that's all they did, and it's okay. So now he's going to work
with AJ, but even after the match was over, he held both his hands out for the title belt, but he only held it over his hand with his uninjured arm.
He did.
Am I the only
it did come out that he did finally get it up, but
he did the slow.
He did this.
Am I the only person that, though I appreciate like working an angle, working an injury, I kind of fucking secretly hate it? In terms of like championship matches, I'd love to see like guy versus guy or woman versus woman without that fucking bullshit being part of it. I kind of hate the working the body angle. Personally, I get it.
Especially to the lengths that Pete Dunne does it.
Yeah. Joint manipulation, that shit. I hate it. I personally fucking hate it so much.
I don't like it either because what good is doing that to it? Yeah, he's
but I also hate
this.
Like any match is like, oh, we're working the arm. That was like, I just want to see like man versus man or woman versus woman without that shit, and it happens rarely. But like, there's so many times where it's like, oh, especially with Seth Rollins, I think it's almost ruined his career for me. Where every fucking match that man is in, he's injured in some way. And it just fucking frustrates me. Oh, his legs, his back. He's got back surgery. Did you know? He's got leg surgery. They just fucking make him wrestle. Just do one-on-one, for fuck's sake.
Well, the knee surgery was real.
I know. Most of the surgeries are real. But, like, holy fucking Christ, man. Give me an actual match with him for somebody.
I think you got that. You got that with Seth Rollins.
I've had it with Seth Rollins, but like
Cody Rhodes,
he
can still wrestle.
I just hate
this iteration of the end.
I hate the reliance on like some like arm injury or something.
From January to April, I can understand it because of.
So the way I look at like wrestling. I am going to accept, especially like in like if you're a new champion, I'm going to accept like an injury angle or something like that. But there's a time and place. Like I feel like they've just gone overboard with like, oh my god, the knee, oh my god, the arm, oh my god, the this, that.
They did it. So yes. But was Seth Rollins this time from January to April? No, because
I
he
feel like he's
needed-
banged up, but he's still
he is.
capable.
He's banged up. He just had fucking.
He's capable of wrestling, and I'm good for him
He's out
leaving.
for. He may be out for.
I'm good.
7
I'm
months.
good with him leaving. I just hate the idea of
He's not
like.
leaving by choice. He's legitimately hurt.
Yes, I'm fine with that. But
Yeah.
I hate the idea of like, oh, we're gonna work the arm, we're gonna work the leg, and like so many matches go to this extent that becomes so fucking boring for me. Working the like injury in wrestling, I think, is the most boring fucking thing I can think of.
There's
For me,
wrong with it if it's
personally.
there's
That's
nothing
telling the
wrong.
story
There's
in writing.
nothing.
Wait,
There's
Sean, what?
nothing.
That's them way. That's their way of telling the story inside the wrestling.
He understands
Well, I
that.
mean, yes, I get that.
I disagree with Basement 100% on this.
Well, the thing is, I feel like it becomes the only way of telling a story, which
and there's
frustrates
nothing wrong
me.
with, well, they're being physical. What do you want them to
Yeah,
fucking
no,
be out there and dance in tutus? I mean, fuck. Just asking.
What, that everybody should be injured and necessarily
No.
you should tell?
No. Oh my god.
Well,
If
that's
it
what you
calls
just that's what you just said to me. Everybody should be out there in tutus. I don't know what the fuck that even meant.
It's a physical sport. They're
It is
actually
a physical sport.
He was asking you because it's a physical sport.
It is
would
a
you rather
physical
them be
sport.
out there in tutus and dancing.
But I get bored of people working an injury
Understood.
angle, and it's
It
such
is
a
overdone.
go-to in wrestling.
It is overdone.
Yes, yeah.
But if somebody has a legitimate injury,
Yeah, then I'm okay with it 100%.
Seth Rollins does. This is a way to write him off of TV.
I am 100% okay with that.
Okay.
But I hate the fact that because
God,
it's overused, you end up like turning on the people you like. Because
Damn,
it's like, I've seen 7,000 fucking injuries now. All of a sudden, this guy's injured.
I hear you. I get it. I get but in the middle of a match, yeah, he banged his shoulder.
I honestly, okay. So this is
I don't mind it.
It's a pet peeve of mine. I don't mind a wrestling match pinpointing like an injury, but personally, I've grown to hate a match that pinpoints an injury.
Well, that's
Because
not
it
the
just-
whole
it just
story
becomes-
of the match. No, the story yes, it doesn't make it a focus. It makes it the injury.
Well,
itself
nowadays
should be a
it's like I'm
focus of
injured, but am I?
The injury itself should be on the focus on the match, not the storyline.
Well, my problem is like nowadays it's like I'm injured, my leg doesn't work until I'm doing a super kick, and then
The
it's
only
fine.
time- okay.
Yeah.
I just feel like today's day and age of wrestling is like I'm injured for 3 seconds and then I'm fine, or I'm injured for this certain thing and then like the amount. Okay, I don't care what you think, but like in wrestling, the age of like selling past the point of injury is lost completely.
Yes. Nobody's disagreeing with you, just so you know. You've said this like 50 times. Just saying. We know. I know. I don't mind the 3-second bullshit, yes. But during a match where if he tweaks his knee, fine. He'll still come out on top, but if he's now can't use that leg, that I'm
Until
okay
he
with
curb
that.
stomp someone.
Correct. I'm not disagreeing with you. So he has to come up with some other means to win the match. Which he has done with the pedigree. Like Sami Zayn. When's he going to win with the Blue Thunder Bump?
I can't curb stomp you because of my knee, but I can pedigree you with your fucking head between my knees.
Okay. But let's...
I don't think you like technical wrestling.
I love technical wrestling, but I love sense. more.
But that's technical wrestling when they work on like limb from
I
limb.
get
and,
it,
you
but
know,
like you're gonna throw the fact that, oh my god, I can't use my knee in wrestling, yet I will use my knee in wrestling for everything. It kind of
If
annoys me.
okay, so he bangs his knee, he does like bruises it, right? Like let's
But
say they're
the
in a match.
argument is like
and
he needs surgery. His knee is fucked.
I understand that. That was done to write him off of TV. That I get. But if he bangs his knee on the fucking goddamn stairs, that doesn't mean he tore his fucking kneecap
I
off his
get
fucking...
that, but like
Okay.
we all know wrestling, right? So when like an injury is being sold, the injury is being sold so that you can't use what's being injured. However,
Okay, but so again, I'm not saying that he tore his kneecap off of his fucking bone.
nobody's saying that. I'm just
Oh,
saying
well,
like the way that it's sold is
but you
it's
can
an
bang your knee.
im-
You can bang your knee and still do. Basement, let me tell you something. I have broken my fucking finger.
uh,
And I pulled the fucking trigger with that fucking finger. Because
I'm
I had
fine
so
with
much
that,
fucking adrenaline. Okay, that's my
but you
point.
can't sell
But when you
that.
get to the point,
but
when you get to the point where you don't want to lose this fucking match, you'll do anything to your body to fucking make it happen.
The problem is you can't sell the story you're telling me and the same story that wrestling tells me. You can't be like, oh my god, you do anything for this thing, and then you're tapping.
Time out. You're going to the extremes on things. I'm not even talking about going to the extremes. I'm talking about banging your knee on a fucking goddamn stairs. Oh my god, I banged my knee. Shit.
But that's
Now
not
I gotta
that.
fucking
Okay, so what wrestling story did you see where banging your knee on the stairs is the injury you're taking?
You're selling the match. I don't give a fuck about the fucking story. I'm talking about
that
him.
is the story though.
It was, and to be clear, it wasn't when he banged his knee on the stair that his knee got injured. It was when Roman came up and hooked his knee. It bent his leg in a weird way, and that made it pop.
So you're talking about when he first got hurt?
I don't even know what we're talking about anymore. To be honest.
So we're talking about Seth Rollins and people selling.
When Seth Rollins came in to interfere and save Cody during the tribal rules,
he hit him with the chair and he just full on collapsed because he was just like fucking. He couldn't even.
I'm not disputing the fact that the guy was injured. I don't know.
Right? No. I'm talking about just the general match. I'm not even talking about Seth Rollins anymore. I'm talking about just the general match. This is why you see them, and I wish they would sell it throughout the match. But they bang their knee, and Seth Rollins has to do a pedigree to win the match.
I will say Seth Rollins.
It doesn't. It's not going to fucking hinder his leg any more than it already is. He's not going to fucking. His knee isn't going to fucking explode. I'm not talking about the story.
I am talking about story because if you look at Seth Rollins' matches, he always he struggles with doing things and then he just does them. There are wrestling matches I've seen where somebody tries to do what their moveset is and fails to do it. Seth Rollins is not one of those guys. He ends up doing the thing that he shouldn't be able to do, then he just holds his leg. That's not good. That's not for me.
Okay. Well, I disagree with you.
Well, that's that.
Especially if it writes his ass off TV. But I'm not talking.
I mean, I don't give a shit about that. I mean, you could write his ass off to TV without him showing up.
True.
My problem exists when I need to kind of see the struggle. And Seth Rollins does it, but he does it in a way that's like Marvel, not actual movie.
It depends on. Well, this last time he did not.
Yeah. I agree with that. I agree with that 100% because.
But that was a Vinceism. That wasn't a fucking Seth.
Well, no. Okay, so
guy.
I'm saying just in general. It doesn't have to be Seth Rollins. It's just
But he doesn't do that. If you've noticed, none of them really do that anymore. Since Triple H has taken over, he's pretty much said, if you have an injury, let's sell it until we can get you written off TV. If it harms you anymore, we'll just write you off now. He's not going to put anybody in danger of Seth Rollins, I think, did that himself.
Yeah, I agree. I think Seth Rollins was the guy that was like, "Put me here, please God."
Yeah.
Let me like, if anybody's like fucking thinking a different thing, I think like in terms of wrestling, I have the most respect for Seth Rollins. I think he is akin to what like the old school wrestling fan and wrestlers would be like. That's the man in terms of like
if it was a work and he's really not hurt, which it's not.
He's definitely hurt.
No, right. If he is not, if it's all a work, and I know he's legitimately hurt. If it was work, then you know he has taken it to another level.
Yeah.
He sold that fucking injury for 4 fucking months.
You guys know how much I love this man.
I know.
He is basically my Shawn Michaels.
I think when it comes to in the match moment, like if he bangs a knee, sell it for that match. Oh, yeah. Let me finish. And then they backstage go, "You banged your knee last week." "Oh no, I'm okay. It was just a bruise. I'm good. I'll be good." And
I guess
whatever.
The problem
I
is
can go tonight if I have to. Go ahead.
The problem is me more showcasing Seth Rollins because obviously he's like a lot of his matches are going to be injury focused, especially recently, and it's more like, okay, so you had this or that, but like I hate the idea. I don't like the idea of like focusing on injuries to be a match like a driver. I like the if it makes sense, yes, but like I don't know, man. Seth Rollins has been like a guy that's fought through injuries for 8 years at this point. And I get, like, if you're going to write him off TV, I get it. You're going to want to focus on him being, like, a tryhard that, like, loses the ability to continue going. But he's not the only one. I don't know. I just, like...
I'm not talking about the injury itself. I'm talking about an injury in the match that happens where they have to sell an injury.
Yeah, that's fine.
But they can still, like the banging of the knee, and they could still do the curb stomp, because it shows the struggle of them actually being able to wanting to fucking win at no cost. Doesn't mean he's gonna be hurt even worse next week. It's just he's a little banged up because it's a physical match, and that's what it should be. And I'm okay with that. And then he comes back the next week. "Oh, I just had a little bruise. I'm fine. Whatever." That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying
I'm good with that, but I don't know how I'm good with that. It doesn't have to be the focus
of the next match that he has. It's my point.
Where I find it a bit weird is like you're gonna have Cody. Either they're like really positioning NXT to be like this huge fucking thing because Cody struggled with Carmelo Hayes, and that is for me a pretty big thing.
I don't think he struggled.
He did struggle.
If you say so.
I don't know. Chat, tell us. Everyone in the chat's like, I'm going to
bed. Well, because you two have been arguing back and forth, and we got 4 hours before Wendy gets up.
Well, then go to fucking bed!
He's got a point.
You're not going to get up with her.
I'm just saying. God damn. If I have to get up, I'll get up.
Gosh. 71.
I don't have anything else.
No, that's pretty much it for wrestling. Do I have anything else? Actually,
I don't have
I
anything
don't.
else.
no. That's pretty much it for this
Yep.
week. The fuck is this?
What the fuck is this on? I don't know.
No,
It's
sorry,
on-
sorry. I'm hearing some shit.
Oh.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. I don't know. I got nothing else. It's been up for a while. I was on PS4. Fuck you, Alpha.
Nothing
I love you.
is really happening this week. It was just draft and
It's just draft and AEW being AEW and fucking.
It's-
I just don't get it, man. Like for
I
AEW,
get you. I get you. I get you. I've had it my share. I will continue to watch, but
I would say like this is why I brought it up. I'm like, oh, I was a big fan of ECW when I was like fucking 13, 14 years old. This
Right.
is what I feel is kind of the trend. I'm not saying that like somebody that's like older can't be a fan of AEW, but I feel like that's the driving fan base because it seems to be like so in love with Harvey Weinstein is WWE. I mean, like, come on, man. What are you talking about?
right. Yeah, I don't know, man. I love wrestling, but AEW.
Okay, so I'm just gonna be 100% honest. I gave AEW a chance when it came
I
out.
did
I
too.
gave it
I do.
a 4-month
I
chance,
agree.
and then when I realized they were just taking pot shots, I called it for what it is. They're taking pot shots at WWE, and if anybody's gonna be like, "Oh my God, AEW is like under the fucking anything of WWE," I'm just gonna be like, all they do is take pot shots. That's all they've done.
Yes, they do.
That's what's happening right now. And he's talking about AEW. He's like AEW is a pure wrestling company. WWE is Harvey Weinstein. At this point in time, I'd fucking love. Honestly, I would fucking be in love with the idea of WWE being like a lawsuit against them for that.
It could
Because
become.
holy shit, man. Fuck off,
Well,
man. It's like, oh, it's Harvey
I think
Weinstein.
if anything, TKO
Mm-hmm.
will sue Tony Khan, and he'll sue him for everything that he is worth.
Mm-hmm.
You want to be fucking stupid and play fucky fuck games.
That to me, I'm sorry, but like I saw the like Cody Rhodes beating up fucking Triple H's throne and shit like that. And
Yep.
that for me was enough to not like the company. This is ridiculous. It's so
is-
ridiculous. It's like the company actually fucking divorced themselves from Triple H, or sorry, from Vince McMahon. But this
Yep.
guy's gonna be like, oh yeah, they're Harvey Weinstein. I'm pretty sure his fucking dad is fucking 7-year-olds on the DL. Like they come on, man. You know it's true.
Hey.
You know, I know it's true for a fact, man. The guy is dipping his wick in unfavorable waters for sure.
Oh, of course.
He just hasn't been caught, so that's that.
Okay. Are we talking about Vince or are we talking about fucking Tony Khan?
His father is what I'm talking about. For
Shaheed?
sure. Yeah, you know this man has fucking kids or just attractive women that are of age.
Okay. Well, that's what he wants to do. That's what he wants to do. He's married though. But
Okay.
I hear you.
Okay.
I'm just saying,
That never stopped anybody.
I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm not
You
saying
think-
you're wrong.
Okay, so here's the thing. You think a man that looks like him, that is married, that has the money he has not fucked
Hmm.
cheerleaders or in that respect?
These nuts. Got him.
I do not disagree with anything you were saying. He may very well be doing that.
Hmm.
He is no better than Vince McMahon, then, right?
Well, unless he has he's on point with those NDAs. Who knows?
He's actually got more money than Vince does.
You know he's fucking the prostitutes for sure.
Sure he is. That's not from... I don't judge a book by its cover, though, see. My mama raised me right.
It's like, don't judge a book by its cover, but you can't read the rest of the tale.
I'm not going to say you're wrong. You're right.
He's probably a creep. I look at his face and I can see it.
I'm just saying, you know.
Magic carpet ride, baby.
I'm not going to say if it's true or it isn't. It's not against the law for him, I guess. I don't know. He's a billionaire. He's got to get caught first. Once he gets caught, then we'll start talking about it. Right?
Oh, God. Yeah, anyways.
Yep.
It's time.
It is time.
It's beta time.
It's tomato. All right, guys.
It's Vader time, motherfucker.
Yep.
What
So
if Vader
I have
fucking-
nothing else. I have nothing else, man.
Yeah, I got nothing.
I gotta go to bed because Wendy's got to get up in the morning. I got to get up. So,
With that being said,
attaboy.
Uh-huh.
Have a good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody. Just look out for the people you don't suspect.
We'll see. Well, everybody will see you on Wednesday.
Mm-hmm. Or
Maybe.
in your dreams as / reality. I'll be in your bed.
I'm gonna go dream about a knee injury and seeing how long I can sell it for.